Well, hello there, folks. I'm live here in Washington, D.C. on the National Mall. Absolutely gorgeous day here, right around 76 degrees Fahrenheit, and pretty low humidity. Just about a perfect day here in D.C. Absolutely gorgeous. Probably one of the few before it becomes really hot and muggy, but I'm excited for summer. I'm really excited. And it's gorgeous here. Tons of tourists here. Huge event being set up, some sort of stage, and I don't know what that is, but yeah, there's the Washington Monument right there. Pretty cool. Here at the African American Museum of History and Culture. Just did an update video on the live oaks here in the Spanish moss. They're looking fantastic. I'll show this to you guys. You guys get the first sneak peek before the video. And then look at these flowers, really nice. And then I will I'll be uploading it at some point. But hey, Igni, great to see you on here. Thanks for joining in. Welcome to the live stream. Salam, hey. I'm good, thanks. How are you? How are you doing? How's your garden? How's the weather up in the north of France? Hopefully it's nice. I always say it, but you guys have such a good climate. Very, very similar to like the south of England or something. So great climate. Look at this, by the way. These are the live oaks here. Do you have any, Igni, I'm very curious. Do you have any live oaks in France? There probably is native live oak. The cork oak, I'm guessing, is native. But do you have any southern live oaks there? Because they do grow them, I know, occasionally in like places that are not native, like in California. But I'm curious if there are any southern live oaks in France, because they are a very beautiful tree, native to the southeast. And they've got this, I don't know if you have any of this in France either, but this is native to the southeast. Some people grow it ornamentally. I know Will in Austria tried to get some to grow. I think he has some. So that's a Spanish moss. So that's a classic view of the southern live oaks. They grow with the Spanish moss in the southeast, but they actually have it planted here with the Spanish moss, which is something very rare to see in DC. So check that out. Really, really beautiful. And these trees will only get more beautiful with age. Eventually they'll be huge, fully hardy here. They're native within a couple hours. So pretty cool indeed. Yeah. But no, I'm doing well. It's glad to be here. While doing live stream, I tried doing the other live stream, but I clicked go live and it was like on the other orientation, the portrait mode orientation. So anyways, I had to set up a new live stream. No worries. And live now. Holm oak in all the mild regions of France. Got it. Is that an evergreen oak? I'm assuming. Do you have cork oak? Because I know when I was in Portugal, I saw cork oak everywhere. And I know it's native to the Mediterranean, but I'm wondering, I would think it's native to the south of France, but I have no idea. Look at this. This is the person in the shade of the Emancipation Oak. I have a video of this very oak. Yeah, this is where I went. Very, very beautiful. So if you guys are interested in live oaks, check out my videos on the Emancipation Oak. Absolutely stunning, centuries-old live oak in Hampton, Virginia. Only about less than 3 hour drive from here. Probably like 2 hours and 45 minutes, something like that. So pretty cool. Yeah. Igni, how's the weather where you are? I'm guessing it's probably not too different from here. It's about 76 here. I mean, well, it's been really humid here, but today's a little bit of a cooler day. Really nice. And just really, really glad to be here. This is the classic live oak view, by the way, Igni. This is the classic with these huge, huge branches. You can see the Spanish moss all over it. And then you got these palms that grow under it, you see? That's the classic, like in Georgia or parts of North Florida and South Carolina, North Carolina, all along the coastal southeast. You got the like saw palmetto and stuff that grows under the live oaks. Pretty cool. So yeah. But yeah, pretty cool. For time's sake, I'm trying to get to a lot of stuff to show you guys, and want to be conscious of the battery on my phone. I might start heading over to the palms now. I'd love to show some more people some of these live oaks, but you guys will see when I upload the video on them. So you can see all that Spanish moss dripping from it. Oh, really, really cool. Love Spanish moss. Let me, we have cork oaks in the south. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's awesome. Really cool. Cork oak's awesome, and I remember seeing in Portugal just about every one, even in the countryside, they were all stripped of the bark because that's what they make cork out of. But I think it like grows the bark back, or at least the tree continues growing after that. Today we had 23 Celsius. Oh, that's awesome. That's like what it is here. It's like 24 here, I think. Really, really cool. Next week we'll go up to 27 to 28. That's like what it is mostly here. Yeah. Yesterday it was probably like 28 and humid. It was actually kind of sweaty yesterday. Like when I was at work and I had to. Yeah, it got sweaty at a certain point, but not too bad. I mean, this time of year is pretty nice. Summers here are a lot hotter than you guys. I wish we had summers like you guys up in the north of France, but they're not too bad, honestly, and it's much better than than having like really cold summers. So I enjoy it. Summer is long to come here, but the temperatures are stable. Yeah, exactly. Very stable. I remember going there. I was there last summer in the north of France, and it was amazing because it was like during a heat wave in DC. So it was like 100 every day in DC. And when I got to Paris, I got there like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. It was like in the 60s, like I think it was like low 60s, and I'd like it felt freezing to me. Even though like that's like like in winter that's obviously really warm for us, but it's just like I become so adjusted to the seasonal differences here in DC that if I go anywhere cold, like I remember it was 59 degrees one night on the island I was on in France that when we were there, and 59 degrees, I was cold, even though I'd be in a t-shirt with 59 degrees during like winter. But yeah, it's crazy. Hey Cal, great to see you on there. Appreciate you joining in. The summer season is dry here. It's a shame though. Yeah, I remember when I was there in France, it was during a drought, and all the rivers were like dried up. It was crazy. Even in like I was in like the north area, which is the moist area, the wetter area of France, and it was crazy. The rivers were dried up, and it was really, you could just tell the state of drought that things were in. Really cool. So there's the so Cal, this is something you probably don't have in London, although I'm sure it would do plenty well there if you cultivated it. This is Spanish moss, native to the southeast. It does love the heat and humidity, so I'm actually curious to see how it would do in London. But this is native within a couple hours of here. Same with southern live oaks. These are the southern live oaks here. So when all these deciduous trees lose their leaves, the southern live oak stays completely green, and it's got that beautiful Spanish moss. It's been there for years now, and looks great. Just came back. I did an update video, so either today or tomorrow I'll be uploading that. So I'm gonna get a lot of update videos down here. But right now my goal is to just go through all the palms in the National Mall, show you guys, maybe even make it down about a mile to the, there's another palm, that huge trachea about a mile south of here. So that should be fun. I'm really excited. Gosh, actually I should have calculated the distance, because from the capital, it's probably not even that far to the massive trachea. Gosh, I actually should have looked at that. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out the route that I'll go. Next week is 29 in London. Wow, that's hot. It was like, yeah, we've hit it. The last couple weeks have not been that hot. It was like probably 28 yesterday. That's hot though. Wow. Probably lower humidity though, which is nice. It was humid yesterday and rainy a little bit. Hey Donnie, great to see you. How are your palms doing, by the way, up in Michigan? Great to see you on here. Appreciate you joining in. Donnie Kleinow, thanks for joining in. All the grass is drying up here. Oh wow, I have some Spanish moss. Do you? Oh, that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Yeah, I know it's really not cultivated very often, just because it's such an unusual plant to cultivate, because it grows on other plants. But do you like spray it in the summer? Because I know London gets quite dry in the summer. Even here you can see it dry out sometimes, but yeah, I'm curious what you do with it. I mean, I guess all the London rain in winter probably helps it, even though it's it's cold rain, but obviously they're native to cold areas. So yeah, I'm sure the winters are great for them. Yes, got it. That's cool. That's awesome. All my palms lived, as did my southern hey, that's awesome. Southern magnolias, that's awesome. Donnie, that's awesome. And I'm sorry, you've told me this, but how do you protect them again? The palms. I'm assuming the southern magnolias you don't protect, but the palms, do you even protect them at all? Or maybe you put like some straw over them? I'm forgetting now. Because there's another viewer of mine who lives probably not too far from you in southeastern Michigan, and he grows, I think, the same palms as you, sable mine or needle palm. I think unprotected. So look at this fountain here, really cool. on a hot summer day, believe me, I just want to jump into a fountain like this in DC. It gets, I feel like it is actually like hotter. I mean, it's always like a degree or two hotter down here because we're at a lower elevation by the river, but you can really feel just how hot it gets here on a summer day. It is just boiling. Right now though, perfect. Breezy, 76 degrees and lower humidity. Absolutely perfect. So that's the Spanish moss, guys. I'm gonna start heading down to the Palms now just to be conscious of my phone battery, although we're 83%. But yeah, by the way, sorry I didn't show you guys the beautiful view there. It's the Washington Monument. Very nice. 555 and a fifth feet tall. That's the measurement on it. You can actually see, I can show you when you get out of the view of these trees, I wasn't gonna say, I don't even know. You can see where the monument was, they stopped building it and started building it after the Civil War with the new material. So like the stone color is different about halfway up the monument. Really cool. Actually, I have no idea why I just crossed here. I gotta go this way. Really weird. But yeah, lots of great museums. All the Smithsonian museums are free, which is awesome. So for those of you guys who come to DC, definitely check out the Smithsonian's. I think there's like 18 of them, of the Smithsonian museums. I think like 10 of them are on the National Mall. There's also the Postal Museum. There's like one or two that's in New York, but most of them are here in DC. Here's so that's the Washington Monument right there. Nice view. You can see the different color stones. I don't know if you can see that. I can't even see through the screen because of the sunlight, but the stone changes color up there, which is cool. Like once you go halfway up. And then here's that beautiful view of that's the Capitol. So the National Mall is not an actual, when I was a kid and I always heard the National Mall, I thought it was like a shopping mall. But National Mall is a park. It's this like green space that goes all the way down there. So you can see that's the US Capitol building down there, Library of Congress. That's the Smithsonian Castle, of course, famous for its tracky carpets 429. That skyline over there, it's Arlington, Virginia. And then the Lincoln Memorial is down there. So at the end of the mall is the Potomac River and the Lincoln Memorial. And that dome right there is the Natural History Museum. So lots of cool stuff here in DC. I definitely recommend visiting. I mean, even for those of you from warm climates who might not be as impressed with the palms we got here, that's downtown over there. It's still worth coming. DC is a great city. And lots of cool stuff to do here. And yeah, some great palms. I feel like even if I lived in a warmer climate when I'm older, I'd still want to travel to some colder places, like maybe, I don't know. I mean, like London, obviously London's not a cold place, but like DC or Virginia Beach or places like that have lots of palms. Just because I think there's still something cool, even if you can grow all the tropical palms you want, of going to cold climates and seeing all the palms there. It's awesome. This stuff's so expensive, this ice cream here. Let me get to your comments in 1 second, guys. Across the street here. Here's the National Mall I can show you guys. So this is the Potomac River, Tidal Basin, Jefferson Memorial, Lincoln Memorial, White House, Washington Monument, and this is the Capitol. So we're gonna go down here. This is the Smithsonian Castle, Air and Space Museum, where the Palm used to be, Botanic Garden, where all the, there's a number of palms there. Hopefully it's open and we can go inside. That'd be really fun. Yeah, I still gotta figure out the route that I'm going. Not exactly sure about that yet, but yeah, no, it should be fun. It should be awesome. I'm really excited, guys. This is something I've been wanting. I've only done a live stream once from the National Mall, and now I just wanted to, come down here and do another one. Thought it'd be fun. Because this is probably the best place to live stream just because of the quantity of stuff to see here. The Air and Space Museum, which is just across, sorry, not the Air and Space Museum, the Natural History Museum, which is just across there. They actually planted 2 trackies in front of there. They were already big palms when they planted them. I think it was like 2010 or something. And then in 2014, Arctic blast came through, killed one of them. The other one survived. But I think 2015 was a really rough winter too. That's the thing about DC, is that about that particular cold blast here, was that it wasn't just 2014 that killed the trackies, but the following year was bad, which killed a lot of the survivors that were still trying to recover. So that was unfortunate. Both of those palms died. They never replaced them, but thankfully the south side of the mall still got tons of palms. So, and obviously they're planting new palms in a lot of places. So I'm sure in like, there's a huge hawk that's just flying over there. I'm sure in like 50 years or something, palms will be quite common here. I have no doubt. I mean, once they start making their way into the nursery trade, which I have no idea why they're not already in nurseries, but at some point they're going to infiltrate. You know, needle palms, sable minor, trackies are going to get in. Trackies are the most common, but they're still very rare in nurseries here. But at a certain point, once they get into the nursery, people always snatch them up because they're, you know, they're hardy palms. They're awesome. Sorry guys, lots of comments here to see. Sable minor McCurtain. Awesome, Donnie. That's cool. We have Mediterranean pattern locked now for the past 2 weeks. Been drier than, wow, drier here than the Mediterranean. That's crazy. Yeah, London gets so little, you know, such a low rainfall considering, you know, the stereotype. It's like Seattle, kind of the stereotype of just being cold and rainy year round. Completely untrue. Yeah, that's crazy. Just rose cones and straw. Wow, that's really impressive. Just shows how tough those palms are, because I'm sure it got cold there during the Arctic blast. It must have gotten really cold. Oh, you're not in London. Oh, you're on the coast. 72, 49%. That's pretty nice. That's pretty perfect. That is awesome. Yeah, once it's like below 75, that's when humidity can feel nice. But once it's above that, in my opinion, it starts feeling a little toasty. It's getting toasty right now. It's warm. Lots of museums and stuff there. The Spy Museum's over there, which is really cool. They have like the James Bond car. Lots of cool stuff. There's the Natural History Museum. There's downtown over there. DC has a height restrictions limit, so there's no skyscrapers in DC. That's why that area would be all like, you know, Manhattan if they were allowed. But there's a very strict height limit, so you can't build buildings above a certain height. Except for that one was built prior to the law, but almost all the buildings here are just like the exact same height, which, you know, makes them kind of monotone. But there's a nice thing about it. You can see views for, you know, there's a lot of great views of the city because of it. All right, guys, we're here at the Smithsonian Castle. That's awesome. That's awesome, though. Where on the coast are you, Cal? Are you in Cornwall or Somerset? Or is Somerset on the coast? I don't even know my geography, but yeah, one of the southern areas, I assume, if it's that warm. That's nice. Sorry, let me... Hey, Jason, great to see you on here. Thanks for joining in. It's been a while. Jason Gillies, great to see you on here. Sable minor survived the winter. Sorry, I'm going to stop here for a second. Do some... Go look at this for a second. Read some comments, then get onto the trackie. Kind of get in the shade here. Oh, sorry guys, let me just for a second read some comments. Survived the winter had a thermocube and C9 lights, but the other palms had it too, but seemed, oh, that's really impressive. Jason's up in Alberta, where it gets crazy cold, and he's growing palms up there, which is pretty impressive. Really impressive. Love the dedication, and that is just awesome that it survived. Low of 52 last night, a bit cooler than London. Wow, 52. I feel like our lows are, that's actually not that different from us. Our lows are still in like the, probably like mid 50s, but our in the middle of summer, our average low is like 72 or 3, which is like your guys' average high in London, or a bit cooler than that, but your guys' average high, I guess, is a bit, what am I trying to say? London's average high is a bit higher than our average low, but our average high here in summer is 90, so it's pretty hot. 7:30 p.m. here, very sunny. That's awesome. That is awesome. Appreciate you joining in. How many fronds would sable minor grow in Vulcan, Alberta? Well, you guys have the advantage there of getting all that heat. I mean, even in winter, you guys can get some heat occasionally. So you guys get a lot. I know you guys get really hot in summer. So sable minor would probably put on the same amount of fronds it would here, or close to it. I know it's dry there, but you guys get a lot of heat, which is an advantage. I think it depends on the size, but I'd say like if it already has like maybe like 4 fronds or something, then it'd probably put on, you know, maybe 2. I mean, they're pretty slow growing, so a small palm's only going to put out a couple fronds, maybe. But you know, once they get bigger, they'll grow more. Maybe 2, yeah, 2 fronds, exactly. Yeah, exactly, Cal. Yeah, exactly. Is that 2 new fronds a year? Yes, yeah, 2 new fronds a year, probably. I have a week on the coast tomorrow. I'm going to go to a place that has a fishtail. What? What? A fishtail palm? Are you really? Gosh, it's every time. Like I would think that's not even possible to grow there. But I mean, that's what I thought about, like Arconta Phoenix and stuff like that. But yet people are growing them up there. So that is crazy, Cal. I really want to see that. You got to make a video of that or put some pictures or something. King palms. That's crazy. No idea a fishtail palm could grow there. I had no idea. Devin got it. Has a microclimate where it's surrounded by massive cliffs block. Oh wow. CIDP's Washingtonian Staples. That's awesome. That Sagos. That's awesome. Hey, Damien Dunage. Great. Thanks for joining in. Great to see you on here. It is, yeah, really nice here in the DC area. So let's go check out that palm. Let's see a rostrata here too. Cal, I'm assuming this is one that you have in the UK. It seems to be pretty common in a variety of climates. Obviously, it's native to a decently cold climate, but it obviously gets really hot in the summer. So it's a very adaptable plant. This is Yucca rostrata here. This one's taller than me. Nice big plant, very desert looking. Super cool. A lot of people mistake those for palms, but do not be fooled. Those are not palms. Here's another one. This one's really cool because it's got like a curving trunk. Look at this. It's like a coconut or something. See the trunk completely curves there? Oh wow, gosh, the trachea here is looking surprisingly tattered right now, but it's flowering, which is good. You can see this southern magnolia here flowering. Also, the flowers on these are, in my opinion, the best smelling flowers of all. Absolutely. I mean, it smells like just unbelievable. Yeah, it smells like a floral, very some sort of fancy soap or something. I don't know. Wow, this palm's looking really tattered. I'm guessing the wind really kind of beats it up. I think the old location was probably better for it, but nonetheless, here's the and they also removed all those canopy trees here, which kind of sucks. But they had a big, I forget what it was, like holly or something. So that kind of sucks, but let's go check that out. So over here we got Yucca rostrata. Another one here, classic. Here's the Smithsonian Castle. This is the headquarters for the Smithsonian Museums, and then we got this trachea here. This thing, again, really needs some soil around the base. That probably also is an issue. Really, really exposed roots, which is not good. Looks like they mulched it a little maybe, but yeah, they got to fix that. Trachea looks like it. You can see the results. I'm trying to get the shade here. You can see there, pushing out green fronds, but got a lot of damage. Got a decent amount at least. But this thing is massive. Absolutely massive. You can see the flower spikes there, so should recover nicely. But yeah, it is in a pretty exposed location. That's the thing. They got, these walls certainly shelter the wind, but the winds that blow from the south and east, those are not sheltered. So yeah, it's looking good though. It's recovering nicely, at least. Sorry guys. Lots of those around London. That's awesome. Yeah. I figure they do well there. Does fertilizer help sable minor grow more? Yeah, I would try like Palm Grow, Miracle Grow. There's lots of good stuff. Palm Gain, sorry, not Palm Grow. The most common yucca though is London. Yucca elephantippes. Oh yeah. That's a really cool one. That is not hardy here. It does. I also water my I don't think it is this, unless I'm mistaking the species. It does. I also water my sables lots and spray. Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah, here they get the natural humidity, which they love, but that's a good idea. Can you give a better picture? Yeah, let me try. There you go. Hopefully you guys can see that all right. You can see all those green fronds being pushed out. Quite a bit of damage on these lower fronds, but should recover nicely, The spears look nice and healthy, which is what matters. Several flower spikes on there, so this palm's been here for many years. You can eat yucca flowers. They're related to... Really? I did not know you can eat those. That's really cool. It's super nerd. Great to see you on here. Appreciate you joining in. Remember seeing you on my last live stream. Appreciate it. I don't know if you can get palmgain in Canada, but it's a good fertilizer. Yeah, palmgain's great. I'm gonna try to get some of that. It's very hard to get here. Got it, yeah. No, here it's pretty common because obviously people in the southeast use it a ton. And you know, obviously we can import it from wherever the palmy areas are, Florida or wherever they grow them. But yeah, great fertilizer. I've actually never used it, but I'm gonna try to this year. I've never fertilized my palms, which is probably a mistake, so I'm gonna change that this year. Now it seems like a good time to fertilize, so I gotta get on that also. Look at this building. It's crazy. Looks like something you'd find in England somewhere. Here's the tallest of the Eucharistrata that I've seen. Right over here. Where are you recording now? Damien, I'm in the, this is the Hope Garden next to the Smithsonian Castle. Enid A. Hope's Garden, just south of the National Mall, right near the National Washington Monument, and here in Washington, D.C. Look at this. So you can see the flower spikes there. That's really cool. Very, very neat. Look at those. So this is a double-headed Eucharistrata. That's when you know it's old. This thing's got 2 trunks now. Pretty impressive. Look at that. Have to import palmgain, this one. Oh, it's one of those websites that allows you to buy things from USA. Wow, $60 for 2. Wow, geez. Plus shipping, gosh, yeah, that must be expensive. But yeah. Unfortunately, that's the case for a lot of stuff. But yeah, you guys have to import a lot of the palm aids, I guess, like, you know, palm fertilizer and stuff like that. But yeah, no, I mean, you guys just have such a good climate, which is definitely an advantage. I'm just always amazed by your guys' climate. What grows in the UK? So far north of us here, we're 39 degrees north latitude. You guys are like 50 something, so 51, whatever 52 London is. So really, really cool. Yeah, that Eucharistrata is awesome. Let's go over. So here is the tropical palms they have planted out. Now that it's warm, I've seen a lot of these planted around, but they have the big ones that they have in pots over here. So that's always cool to see. I mean, again, I wish they'd plant hardy palms instead, but they do have some hardy palms, so I can't blame them. No, I mean, I'd rather have these than nothing. I think they're really cool. Look at this philodendron. Look at the size of this. It's crazy. Look at this. Big sagos here, and look at this thing. These things are ancient. I think that's a Christmas palm. Looks like a Adonidia. It's a huge palm. Some of these are really old. This is a foxtail here. What do you should buy for Kata? Really cool. Pretty neat. When disabled miner produce new fronds? My worker says he saw half an inch already twice in a month. Do they start producing fronds in June? I mean, once the weather warms up, they should start producing fronds. Mine are already growing. I mean, mine start growing really early. So I think it depends on where you are. Obviously here, they'll start growing long before where you are, because obviously it warms up a lot quicker here, especially because we're at a lower latitude. But yeah, I mean, where you are, I mean, yeah, I'd say it's not just about the time of year. It's also mostly about the temperature, obviously. Once it starts going above 60 degrees, it should start growing. Obviously, it's going to be growing really slowly at first, but with all that summer heat you guys have, it should grow nicely. There's a Smithsonian Castle, big needle palm there. Smaller one here, really, really nice. They look great planted in these understory area, pretty shaded, just like where they're native. When does Sable Miner produce new fronds? Sorry, read that one. Specific fishtail palm species they are supposed to have. Really? And they're, Cal, they're in the ground. They're actually, have they been there for several years? That's crazy. I would think fishtail palm is one that, like somewhere like the Scilly Isles, would maybe not be too cold in winter. But again, I would think that just the lack of heat would be a real issue, like especially in summer. Because I feel like fishtail palms kind of need that, but that's kind of crazy. Hey, Jungle Joe C Video Gates, appreciate you joining in. Yeah, Rapidophyllum are great here. Rapidophyllum. I just passed the big trachea over there. It's looking kind of tattered because it's in a pretty wind-blown location. And as you know, it got down to single digits here in winter, so it's looking pretty tattered. I'm actually kind of surprised, but it should recover nicely. And I'm going to try to head down and see another big trachea probably towards the end of the live stream, which is completely untouched. So it just really shows you what a south-facing wall does, what a good microclimate does. So here's the nice needle here. There's a smaller one over there. This is the bigger one. But this is still a small needle palm. There's some bigger ones. You know, I mean, one Arboretum's huge. Lots of huge ones. Beautiful fronds here. Very tropical looking. Very exotic looking. I love needle palms. And also, for those who say palms look out of place here, I mean, I think it's such a ridiculous argument in the first place. But a palm like a needle palm, it's not an overtly tropical looking plant. Like obviously it has that tropical allure, but you know, it's not like planting a Christmas palm or a coconut. You know, I think it definitely, I guess you could say, blends better with these temperate species. Although obviously I'd rather have, I mean, I'd love to have tropical species here that will grow here too. But I feel like a needle palm is like a great, you know, it accents a lot of these other plants well. Love them, absolutely love them. And they're just beautiful plants in their own right. They're not just hardy, but they're absolutely stunning. Really, really beautiful. And obviously they love our summer heat and humidity here. And growing under in this shaded spot, pretty perfect for them. So yeah, really, really awesome. Love, love, love needle palms. So I'm gonna keep heading over, go check out some other plants. And Joe, also, they got these big tropical palms planted out in the summer. You can see the Majesties here, Stegos, and then this looks like a Christmas palm, maybe, the Adenidia. Big palm. They don't have the big, last year they had a lot more of them planted out. They have like these like giant, like 10-foot sago palms and like these ancient plants. They were actually cracking the pot they were in. They were so old and so big. It's crazy. Yeah, but it's crazy. But yeah, how's the weather where you are, Joe, by the way? Right here, it's about 76, I think like 40% humidity or something. Not too high, maybe even lower. And yeah, really perfect out. Beautiful day. Lots of people here in DC today. This is just really, really nice before the serious heat and humidity kicks in. Oh, they took out some of the Euchrostrata here. That really sucks. Oh, maybe they didn't. Sorry, there's big ones up there, but they have put in some small ones, which is nice. These look like baby Euchrostrata. We've got some more up here. That's a very common species down here at the National Mall. The Smithsonian seems to love planting them, which is great. In the ground for a few years. That's really impressive, Cal. I can't believe that there's a fishtail palm growing up there in the UK. I really, seriously, please take pictures or videos of that. I really, really want to see that. Because I've seen pictures of the Arconta Phoenix there, which are pretty I mean, crazy that they can grow there. And yeah, I mean, that's just crazy that there are fishtail palms there. These are some mid-sized Yucca rostrata, really nice. Look how blue this is, by the way. This is a blue spruce. It's like a dwarf form. Very, very blue. Kind of crazy. Yeah, lots of like federal buildings down here and stuff. You'll see the Capitol in just a second. This is like an art museum here. And yeah, really, really nice. Great to be down here. Just finished watering, so dry here. So many trackies are blooming. That's awesome, Joe. Yeah, the trackies are blooming here too. And mine is not, though. Maybe it's the stress of the winter. I had a little bit of damage, but my trackie bloomed last year, and now it's not blooming. I don't know what that is. But anyways, a lot of them are around the city. The big one back there is blooming. And yeah, it's really nice. Some of them are, there's this one that I saw at this nursery south of DC that had like at least 6 or more flower spikes on it. Huge blooms. Very healthy trackie. So yeah, these have been here for years. They're almost like bonsai'd, kind of like some of the trackies on Salt Spring Island, Joe, that I've seen you post. Those like ones that are really old but that are still really small because they're in these small pots. These Yucca rostrata here have been here for many years, and they're still really tiny because they're in these little pots there. But they're out there all year round. Fully hardy here, obviously. And yeah, really nice. Here's the Air and Space Museum. They just completely redid it. That's why the trackie was moved, by the way. It's because the Air and Space Museum was completely remodeled. And I think they might have removed the needle palm and sable minor too, which really sucks. But I hope that's not the case, but we'll have to check. I'm gonna go try to see. Yeah, those needles probably they're in shade, so they're growing slower, obviously, but I bet they're at least 15 years old. Average high in the gardens is 72. That's really nice. Cal, that's perfect weather. Average high here in May is 76, I think. And then low is probably, I don't know, something like low to mid 50s probably. Oh, July, that's crazy. So Cal, yeah, your average low in July is your average high in July is exactly the same as our average low. So that is just crazy. But you obviously have a much more even climate, you know. Your variations between summer and winter are like 20 degrees as opposed to like 40 here. Wow, so many people. This is kind of crazy. Let's see if I can get by here. Guys, sorry. Wow, crazy how crowded it is here. I saw a needle in Kew Gardens. Oh, wow. Yeah, needle palms are quite rare in the UK. They're quite rare basically everywhere. Southeast, they're decently common, but still not very common, even though they're native there. You know, like when I was in like Columbia, South Carolina, I saw them occasionally. Virginia Beach, you'll see them occasionally, but really not that common there even. I mean, they're probably like about as common here as they are in Virginia Beach, which, yeah, decently common. It's funny, the museum looks exactly the same, but they've completely retiled the exterior. This is the Air and Space Museum. They have the original Apollo 11 spacecraft they landed on the moon with, and it actually still has the moon dust on it, in addition to some other cool, really, really cool pieces of aviation history. Oh my God, look at this. That's crazy. You got a Bismarckia here. Look at this thing. Look at this thing. Look at this. Growing here in a pot. They bring these out. Look at this thing. huge Bismarckia there. It looks like a giant sable almost at that young size. The Bismarckia and all those potted palms, they bring them out in the summer from the Smithsonian. I think they have like a greenhouse that they keep them all in. But you know, I mean, honestly, I love seeing them, even though they're not hardy here, because they only, you know, they don't let them die in the winter. They bring them in, and they also plant lots of hardy palms. So I love the Smithsonian. They got great plantings. So many great museums too. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get to your comments. Kew Gardens the other day and almost missed it. That's really cool, Cal. Yeah, the needle palms blend in so well with the vegetation here. I mean, they're native to plenty of deciduous areas. The south is not all pine forests. A lot of it's deciduous forest too. So, oh, here's where the needles are, and this is where the trachea used to be, completely removed. They removed all the palms here. God, I wonder what happened to them. All gone. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm looking right now at the bed. I hope they moved them somewhere and then they're going to replant them. Because, I mean, think about it. They are going to re-landscape all this. So imagine if they put all the palms back in. That would be awesome. But I really hope so. Oh, maybe they didn't remove them. Because I see this area that's completely covered. Maybe they somehow left them intact. That would be awesome. I almost wish they'd move the trachea back, but I think that's way too risky. At this point, just keep the trachea where it is. But it's definitely in a less exposed, it's in a more exposed spot where they moved it. This is where the palm was, that tarp covered area. They have a whole field of sable minor in there and needle palms. So my hope is that they covered them. Although, yeah, no, I don't know. I hope so. We'll see what happens come, I don't know, whenever the renovations are done. Sorry, guys. Needle palms are one of my favorites, only because not so common here. 7 of them in the garden. 72, Joe, that's perfect. Beautiful, beautiful weather. Oh yeah, it's still, I forgot it's only like 12 where you guys are. It's 3 o'clock here. Yeah, absolutely beautiful. That's awesome. 72 is perfect. Yeah, no, I know. I always wish they were more common. Just like sables, they should really be planted way more in the places like the Pacific Northwest. But yeah, because they do great where you are. Really great. Here's the Museum of the American Indian. Great museum too. Lots of great, all the Smithsonian museums are really good. Is this 4th Street? What is this? I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out where to head down. Sorry guys, let me, got a lot of comments to get to here. Yeah, love needle palms, great botanic gardens. Yes, I'm gonna head to the botanic gardens actually right now, Joe, if you wanna see some tropical palms as well as some hardy ones. They got a great mixture. Got to 87 in the 19th. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, see, that's like a lot of the places like Montana, the Dakotas, and like Alberta, all those like northern plains areas, not so suitable for palms because of just how crazy the temperatures vary, but it does mean that you guys can get some warm spells in winter, and you guys get some crazy heat in the summer. Hotter than here, certainly, but it's also nice and dry. But yeah, I mean, that's really nice. So, you know, your palms probably love the summers there, up in Alberta. There's the U.S. Capitol, by the way. Beautiful, beautiful building, almost 300 feet tall. And it's also right up on a hill, which is really cool. So, yeah, really, really nice. 87 Fahrenheit, that's awesome, Jason. 72 and sunny, low humidity, that's perfect. That is beautiful. As much as I dislike spruce trees in the landscape, that dwarf one. Yeah, I agree. I also don't, you know, they're planted really commonly here, and, you know, I feel like it sort of gives it like a Minnesota feel, like a much colder climate than it actually is. But they are nice trees. They're evergreen. The blue color is really cool, so I don't have a problem with them. You know, some of like the Norway spruces, at a certain point, they just become kind of like almost weedy. Oh, they have a coconut here. Look at this. This coconut palm's been here for many years. They keep planting one every year in the same spot. Every summer. It's crazy. They had a pandanus here last year, like a 20-foot pandanus. Oh, they have one here too. All right, this is really, really cool. Let's check this out. First, I made a few comments though, guys. One of the gardens in Cornwall also has a fishtail palm. That's really crazy. Have you ever heard of Texas evergreen? I've never heard of that, no. I wonder if it's hardy, yeah. Yeah, the rostradas in pots, those are nice. Those are, yeah, I mean, it's kind of cool. You know, obviously I always think it's cooler to have palms in the ground, but the fact that they're out here year round, I think it's nice. And obviously, you know, fully hardy here, so. 45 nights affect stable growth when the days are 70. I mean, they'll definitely grow less, but I mean, as long as the days are warm, your sable should be growing. It would be possible to send Washington seeds. Yeah, I send people seeds all the time. Yeah, definitely. If you have Instagram, no, I don't, unfortunately, but I do want to look that up. I've heard of that place, Lamorne Gardens. That is crazy. They have Kenchus too. That's crazy. And King Palms. Crazy, crazy. High in July is 77, but the gardens on the coast, that's crazy. That is so beautiful. Our high here in summer in July is 90 degrees. We have long, hot, humid, tropical-like summers, but again, I really do. I do kind of like them. I've come to appreciate them. I used to find them kind of miserable, but they're really not. They're pretty tolerable as long as you're in the shade. And if you're like digging and planting stuff all summer, then it's rough. Last summer I did yard work all summer. I did lawn mowing. I did some plantings for people, weeding. That was absolutely miserable. We had a whole week where it was in the 90s and like 95, 96 and humid. It was horrible. Weeding in that weather, I felt dizzy every time I stood up, but just being outside, going to the pool feels great. Yeah, that Bismarck's awesome. Next week, the low is forecasted to be 63, so hopefully the Sagres. Wow, yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, low of 63. I don't think we've had any lows that high so far, all in the 50s. Our last low of the 40s looks like it's passed, though. We're all in the 50s now for the lows. 70s, 80s for the highs, 90s soon. We've had 1 or 2 days that's hit 90 so far. If the temperature in the day is 70s. Yeah, sable minor should grow. Again, it all depends. The hotter it is, the more it'll grow generally. If it's like 90 versus 70 degrees, it'll probably grow more than 90. Unlike trackies. Trackies apparently stop growing above a certain temperature. If it's like 95 or something, they actually won't grow. So I've heard, because they're from a cooler climate, whereas sables love that heat. But they still should grow in the 70s. Like in California, they grow slower than they do in Florida, but they still grow. Sable minor should be growing that they have fast growth when the highs are in the 80s. Yeah, exactly, Cal, exactly. You can order Washington, yeah, not Washingtonia. I don't sell Washingtonia seeds, but if you want some Washington, D.C. Sable minor seeds, you can absolutely order. So, yeah, I mean, I don't have an eBay account, but if you wait, I think in a few months I'm going to be setting up an eBay account. So you can either wait for that or, I don't know. I mean, sometimes I'll just send them out personally. So if you want, like, email me and stuff, I'll send out some some seeds. I don't have any at the moment, though. That's the problem. You're going to have to wait a couple months because none of the sable minor are in flower currently, as far as I'm aware. And I don't have any seeds from last year. I've scattered them all in the woods. So you're going to have to wait a little bit. But yes, I do absolutely sell. Oh my gosh, look at this. It's an Ontario car here. Check this out. That is awesome. I don't want to show the license plate because I don't like showing people's license plates. I don't know. I suppose they're supposed to like blur them out or something. But there is an Ontario license plate here, which is cool. You see those occasionally here. You see Quebec. When I was in San Diego, I saw Baja California license plates. I mean, we're right near it, so it makes sense. In the last few years, however, the highs in July tend to be warmer. That's what's happening here. That's what's happening all over the place. And yeah, our last few summers have been a lot warmer. Last winters have been milder. Yeah, that's crazy. Here's the coconuts, by the way. Check these out. These are like really skinny ones, but these are indeed Cocos nucifera. You can see these fronds here. Really, really nice. God, that's awesome. They've already removed the actual coconut itself, but the palms are nice and healthy. They're staked up here. Beautiful, beautiful. So, again, they love our summers here. Is this pandanus? They don't have pandanus. Oh, wait. Maybe this is pandanus. I can't tell. Whatever this is, it's got extremely sharp margins. Last year, they had a massive pandanus here. They've got these are the trees of heaven, which are really invasive. Do not plant those. These are everywhere here. They're all over the country. They're, I think, in 40 states now. Alocanthus altissima, I think it's called. Horribly invasive species. Do not plant tree of heaven. Despite the name, it is not heavenly at all. It is really the tree from hell, as they call it. A nice pond here, by the way, and there's a huge bald cypress over there. Also very common here. Poor video quality. Oh gosh, sorry, okay. Let me try to move the camera a little slower. Hopefully it's clears up. Maybe when you travel within the US, you could collect seeds that I'm sure Florida or Los Angeles has lots of seed. Yeah, Cal, I actually should. I haven't been doing that only because I don't really want to grow a lot of tropical palms in pots here. I'm more of an in-the-ground person. I do have a coconut in a pot. I've got a lady palm, but I don't really want to get much else because, you know, obviously I got to take care of them. And sorry, one second, there's a lot of music here. There's the capital right there. You know, I don't want to like get a huge potted palm collection just because the amount of care it takes. But if I do move to a warm climate, I'll absolutely do that. And yeah, I mean, you should see like Huntington Gardens. All the palms have seed on them, and in fact, they're like a lot of them are naturalizing. You don't see like stuff like sables naturalize a ton in California because not only are they pretty rare, but they also, you know, it's just so dry there that you see them dry up sometimes. But at a place like Huntington Gardens, you'll see them naturalized because they water all the palms. So the seedlings are allowed to grow. And some of the seedlings now are like big palms. Look at that. That's the capital there. Over here is the this garden. They recently removed one of the sable minor in here, which really sucks, unfortunately. But it was yeah, it looked like it was pretty healthy. It was very healthy, but they're doing tons of remodeling here. So this is the thing, is they always plant hardy palms here, which I love, but then they always tend to remove them sometimes. So, you know, it's a mixed bag here. There's some beautiful bald cypress for you. Beautiful creek here. This is a really nice gardens. So for those of you who come to DC, this is right in the National Mall. Definitely come to the Botanic Gardens. They got an amazing indoor collection and some great outdoor collections as well. Gosh, it's so funny. I feel like I was just here, but I think it was still winter last time I was here, or at least it was still cold because the outdoor sections, a lot of them were closed. Here's where the sable minor was, which I believe, again, is not there anymore. And if I'm wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I feel like they removed it because I swear it was here. It was like right here. Gosh, yeah, it's really weird. It was like right here, I'm pretty sure. It's really weird, yeah. Well, that really sucks. That, yeah. Anytime I see a palm be taken out, no matter how small, it always hurts my heart a little bit. Look at these bald cypress, absolutely beautiful. Those needles are really stunning. On those bald cypresses, absolutely stunning. These things naturalize everywhere here, and they're native about an hour from here, so really close. Oh, they have lots of cacti for sale. That's really cool. Oh, these fountains smell great. It smells like chlorine or something. It's great. I don't know why I love the smell of chlorine. Nice bald cypresses here. I'm gonna head over to this garden here. So let's head into the Botanic Gardens, see what they got here, because they got some great plantings. I want to see how those trackies look after winter. I'm honestly very curious. I mean, collect fresh seed to sell on eBay. Yeah, Cal, that's a good idea. Honestly, once I start an eBay page, I think I will do that. Especially some rare ones, yeah. For other people, yeah, totally, I should do that. The June low is 49, but it can get to, wow. See, 49 is really cold for June, but our low in June is like 69 or 70. But yeah, 95 degrees. Prairies are cool at night. That's the nice thing, and that's true in a lot of places, which we do not have here, is that the nights in summer are cool. Although, you know, those warm southern nights, summer nights do feel great. So I could be wrong, but I think the International Palm Society are currently in London. Really? I heard something about that, I think, on Palm Talk, but that's really crazy. I mean, hey, there's lots to see there. Look at these. Oh, this is really great. They got all the cacti labeled here. That's really cool. I don't know which of these are... God, I wish I knew more, because I don't know which of these are actually hardy here. This one looks like... This kind of prickly pear looks like it might be hardy. I want to check that out. I wish they sold them as hardy cacti, like, see which ones could actually grow here. Let's look at this. Oh, this one doesn't have a label. Yep, no palms for sale. Maybe I should change that. I really do. I've been wanting to start like a palm landscaping company this summer, but I just don't know how much interest there is for it. Like if it's actually feasible. That's what I'm worried about. Oh, look at this. They got this. Oh, look at these prickly pear. That's crazy. Look at the size of these. I don't remember these being here. Maybe they were. Look at this. This is great. This is. Oh, look at this. A bunch of tuna. It's from the Caribbean. There's no way these actually made it through the winter here, but maybe somehow they did because I don't know. These are big prickly pear, so they were either, planted recently or this is the Apuntia ficus indica. So this is what they do. They put like a bunch of random cacti and succulents in, and then like half of them are hardy here, half of them have no chance here. So this is all new stuff. But the agave perii can definitely make it. Some of these agave, like agave americana, might. Some of these absolutely have no chance, though. I have no idea about this one. Oh, this is the mezcal agave. I'm guessing that one's not hardy here, but I honestly do not know. Oh, they have olives planted here. Look at that. Look at that. Again, I don't know which of these are just annual plantings or which of these are hardy here, but look at this. Look at this. Look at this. That's crazy. Arbequina olive. I would have also thought that olives have no chance here, but I've seen some big ones now around town. So olives actually are decently hardy here, which is crazy. Wow, there's some cool stuff here. Carob. Oh, this is really cool looking. It's like a broadleaf evergreen or something. That's really cool. From the Mediterranean. Here's a big olive. Look at this thing. I'd love to get an olive to grow. Because they're not very common here, but they seem to be pretty hardy. Again, one of these big olives. Again, all this looks new to me, but I wish they'd just give them a chance and actually let them survive the winter. That's the thing is, I don't know if they just rip them all out in winter or what. But we'll have to see, because that's going to be interesting. '86 happens a lot in July and midweek. 95. Yeah, Sable Minor will grow great in that. Again, anything above like 60, they should be growing. Anything above like 80, they'll grow a lot. Or not a lot, but they'll grow as much as the Sable Minor will. Here's the Botanic Gardens. Here's the coconut palm. Look at this thing. It's just about to seed, so they got to take all the seed stalks out. But look at that thing. That's the most crazy beautiful coconut palm. Look at this thing. Looks like a, look at this. Maypan coconut. Oh, it feels so nice in here. It's not as refreshing when it's so humid out. It's humid in here too, but it's still pretty cool. Wow. It is really warm in here. Look at that royal palm. Crazy stuff. Look at this Hyophorbe laguniculus, giant bottle palm. One of the biggest I've ever seen. It's misting in here right now. They got all the misters on. This is a Chamberonia. That's the flamethrower palm. Way up there. Look at that thing. This place is absolutely awesome. They've got a trachea out there too that'll show you guys. Huge birds of paradise. Absolutely amazing. Hey, Gem City Tropics. Great to see you on here. Really appreciate you joining in. I saw that you commented on the other live stream, and I'm sorry about the, I had to mix up. I started that one, and it was like on the portrait mode, and it was already locked, so I had to restart the live stream. Regardless, anyways, this is the live stream. Thankfully, it's going well, and I really appreciate you joining in. And I'm here at the U.S. Botanic Gardens. Absolutely amazing place. Look at this. They've got this is a Sable causearum. Look at this. This is the Puerto Rican hat palm. This one's actually pretty hardy, which is crazy. Look at the size of those fronds. I don't know if I've ever seen a sable frond so big. Look at the size of these sable fronds. And this is one of my favorite palms, Caryodoxa elegans. It's got these beautiful black petioles. And it barely gets a trunk. You can see it's just a tiny trunk. But look at those fronds. Massive fronds. Crazy. more humid in here than outside. Midweek you can get it. There's a flamethrower palm on the ground in the UK. Is there really? Where is that, Cal? Is it in, I'm assuming somewhere in the south, but that is absolutely nuts. I mean, you know, if Arconta Phoenix can grow, then I'm honestly not surprised. But that is kind of crazy. Look at this one. This is one from the Seychelles, I think. It's got this beautiful unsplit leaves and this very spiny trunk. Absolutely stunning. I really appreciate all you guys joining in. I always appreciate you guys. You guys are absolutely awesome. And yeah, I just really appreciate you guys joining in. Always making it fun. I've never been out in this garden, by the way. This is really cool. But check this out. Got a big Euchrostrata here. Got some a needle palm over here. Let me go check it out. I've never actually been here. This is one of the best microclimates in DC because it's out here in a sheltered courtyard, surrounded on 4 sides by walls. So, absolutely perfect. They used to have some more palms. Again, as I mentioned earlier, they have a tendency to remove a lot of them. Someone said they had a Serenoa repens in here. Whether or not that's true, I cannot confirm, but it's definitely not here anymore. But it doesn't mean it died from cold or anything. I'd honestly be kind of surprised if it did in a microclimate like this, but Arizona rosewood. Wow, that's really cool. Nolina texile. Look at this. I got to make a video for Southwest Hardy Palms. He'd be really excited about this. There's a Nolina here. He just made a video on the native Nolina that he's got planted. This is from, I guess, Texas in the Southwest. Lots of great prickly pear here. They got cholla. I don't know some of the stuff's like annuals. They just plant every year, but most of the stuff is pretty hardy here. Like I have no idea how hardy this stuff is though. Look at how tiny these little agaves are, cholla and everything. But the needle palms over here. Look at this. This is the Eucalifolia here. Look at this needle palm, really wide. It's really cool. Look at it. So that's really, really cool. It's clearly been there a while. South Carolina to Florida, Mississippi. That's really, really cool. You can see it hanging over the pond there. Really, really cool. So lots of, gotta get a lot of videos in here. Oh, that's really cool. Is that what I think it is? Really, really cool. So lots to see in here. Wow, it's really humid in here. Look at those palms. So lots of great stuff up there. Here's a saw palmetto. Speaking of which, wish they'd move this thing outside. Serenoa repens. This is a green form one. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, there's a eucalyptus here and it smells unbelievable. Look at this. Oh, that's insane smelling. Wow, that's crazy. It's eucalyptus globules. They gotta keep this thing really small, otherwise it's gonna like crash through the roof. Look at this thing though. Saw palmetto. You got the Hawaii garden over there. It's great stuff. Oh, nice and cool in here. Wow.
But it's a little bit pricey.
That's kind of crazy. When I first walked in that room, it smelled like cleaning vinegar, and now when I left, it smelled like I don't even know what. It was like some very sweet scent. I don't know. This is a cactus area. Really, really cool plantings they got in here. Look at this saguaro here, cardon here. Two tallest cacti in the world. Massive barrel cactus. Crazy stuff. This is like an indoor Huntington Gardens. This is the Hawaii area. Wait, no, this is not. Never mind. Oh, wait, yeah, it is. Oh, they removed the Prochardia here. Oh, that sucks. Wow, they had a Prochardia here. They just removed. Really, really cool. Great collections they got here. Here's like cyc heads and ferns and stuff. Monkey puzzle tree there. Another one they should have outside. Really, really cool place. Oh wait, I didn't see the. Sorry, I didn't show the trackie out here. I was like, no one in here. That's great. This is like the children's area. Oh, they got misters. That'll come in handy on a summer's day. On an island in the southeast. That's crazy, Cal. That is. You could literally probably grow like 100 palms there, like 100 different species. Currently 86 and very dry. Supposed to get up to 93 today. Wow, that's awesome. Smoky though. Are there fires out your way, Gems, the tropics? I know obviously Idaho can be fire prone in some areas, especially, you get probably winds blown in from California, Pacific Northwest, and places like that. That's crazy though. That's really, really warm. Low humidity though, probably, which is nice. Hey, oh my gosh, UK Palms, great to see you on here. I'm a huge follower of yours on Palm Talk. I've seen so many. Always look at your posts and stuff. And you do what I do, but just to a much greater extent, which I really appreciate, which is like go on Google Maps and screenshot palms and post them. That's what I try to do. But I really appreciate that. Someday when I finally make it out to London, I will definitely be using all those posts to go take videos of different palms and see them. So I really appreciate that. Huge fan. And I really appreciate you joining in. Shanklin, I've never even heard of that. That's crazy. That's crazy, though. I guess they are from like a bit of a cooler climate, so they must love it there. That's awesome. What country is that in? Canada. Right now we're here. There's a fire in Canada, and the winds are blowing smoke in. Oh gosh, yeah. I know British Columbia is like the California of Canada in the sense that it's obviously the mildest area of the West, and then it's also the mildest area in all of Canada, and it is quite fire prone in some areas. It's like California does actually have rainforest, like British Columbia, but a lot of the states quite dry and fire prone. Here's the trackie, by the way. Look at the difference here. By the way, you can see how damaged some of the other ones were. This one looks absolutely flawless here. Again, I think this is the best microclimate in all of DC. So much, such a good advantage from the sun. You get a full day sun, but you've also got all this heat reflecting off the glass. You've got glass on four sides, keeping the winds out. Perfect microclimate. They've got to plant a sable palmetto in here. I bet you could get a trunking sable palmetto in here. Saw palmetto, maybe even stuff like Jubea you could throw in here. It's seriously one of the best microclimates in the area. Right in the urban heat island by the river. Perfect. You can see all these flower stalks here. And beautiful, beautiful, healthy Trichocarpus fortunei, completely undamaged. Very, very beautiful. So it's looking great. Looks like maybe the Bulgarian one, because it's got those really stiff fronds up there. I don't see a tag for it, which is interesting. Hopefully they, looks like just an old fortunei, but really, really nice, healthy palm. You can see that spear looks absolutely flawless. Beautiful, beautiful trackie. So there used to be a big Wagnerianus here, which maybe was killed, maybe it was removed. Really sucks that it's gone, but this trackie in its place is really nice. So that's good to see at least. Oh gosh, my shoe just came untied, guys. Sorry. Let me sit down for a second. Oh, I've been sitting in a children's chair right now.
Why? You're spilling the water everywhere.
Yeah, I know.
It didn't say I can't. Oh, sorry. It didn't say I can't clean over here. So think about it. If it's for kids, they let them flower anything, right? Or water anything. Technically.
All right, guys. Sorry about that. Yeah, but right now I'm here at the Botanic Gardens. There are thousands more never posted before. That's crazy. UK palms. Yeah, I am always blown away by the stuff you post and the obviously the urban heat island helps a lot, but it's not just that. It's also just a generally pretty mild area, and you've posted plenty outside of the urban heat island that look great, undamaged after this winter, and crazy impressive. I mean, it's honestly just shocking. Really cool. Yeah, check these out. This is our closest thing you'll get to the tropics here in DC, besides the hardy palms. There's a coconut here on the right. Nice thing here, though, is that you can actually drive to Florida, which is kind of crazy. I actually drove when I was in Miami last spring break. Our flights got canceled. It was like one of this really strange event. By the way, here's some olives growing outside here in DC, which is nice. But anyway, sorry. When I was in Miami last March, all our flights got canceled, and we had to get home because I had school the next day. So, craziest thing, we rented a car, drove like 14 hours back from Miami. I think it was even more maybe, but crazy. Oh, this area's closed. We drove the entire 14 hours back, and that was the most discombobulating drive, going from a literal tropical climate where you got lipstick palms and stuff like that to Washington D.C. up here in the temperate zones. Craziest thing. You can really tell when you go through Florida where you go from tropics to subtropics. It's crazy how different it is. And then unfortunately night hit before we got to like DC, so I couldn't actually see the change in all the zones, but you can tell where it goes from tropical hardwood to temperate coniferous to subtropical coniferous, like mostly pine forests with a lot of palms, and then more subtropical areas, and then to the temperate forest, which are mostly deciduous up here. So crazy. Look at these, this is the U.S. Capitol right there. Very impressive. Here in Washington, D.C. Closest thing to the tropics here is the Isles of Scilly. Yep, exactly. You guys, I mean, as far as D.C. is concerned, obviously, you guys are much closer to that style of, to that kind of climate. Isles of Scilly, you got plenty of tropical plants there, subtropical plants, all sorts of stuff. So we're doing our best here in DC, but it is not tropical here, not even close. But you can see, so again, look at this. This is one of the most beautiful needle palms I've ever seen. This is growing out here for years now, unprotected. Obviously, these are fully hardy here. This is a Rapidophyllum hystrix needle palm. Absolutely stunning specimen. So dense, dozens and dozens. I wouldn't be surprised if there's at least 100 fronds on there. This trachea got damaged this winter, but you can see it pushing out new growth there, new spears pushing out, and then this one like barely even got damaged. Looks kind of flawless. It's a small trachea too. Looks very waggy-like to me, but I guess it's a Fortunae. It says Fortunae on the label. Beautiful trachea there, so shows you, gives you an idea what grows here. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Yep, lots of cool stuff here. It's really awesome. You can drive from the Mediterranean from the UK. Really? That is pretty crazy. You can drive to like China basically, or South Africa, I guess. Can you actually drive onto the African continent? I didn't know. I guess it does connect. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. You can't drive though from the. I mean, you do have to take I mean, I guess you can drive obviously, but you have to take like a ferry across to France. That's really nuts. Kind of blows me away. And Europe's like obviously, small geographically, but there's so many different countries, and it's really cool. Great palms there, obviously. Look at this. Oh, beautiful. Pachamacara Central. Look at these flowers. Oh, that's so gorgeous. Look at those. Prickly pear flowers. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, that's absolutely awesome. This is the, lots of great stuff here. A bunch of Monacantha. Esperallo flowering here. Absolutely beautiful. They've got, I don't know what those cacti are, but those are definitely not, as far as I'm aware, those are not hardy here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. That's our native eastern prickly pear. So we do have native cactus here, which is pretty cool. Look at that, all in flower. That is just stunning. Oh my God. Look at that. Oh, it's so beautiful. Yucca rostrata with the U.S. Capitol right there. Absolutely awesome. So, yeah, just awesome. Gotta love that. I got some water. Thirsty. It is hot out. I feel like it's definitely closer to 80 now. Probably like 26 Celsius or something. There's a sable miner tucked in here. It's in like a divot here where it floods temporarily. Great area for it. You can see right there. Oh, I was thirsty. Yeah, you can see it looks great. Nice little sable miner there. But we're going to see a much bigger one very soon. The next one up here, I think, is a sable Louisiana. So it's a variety of sable miner that gets a small trunk. Or sometimes a big trunk. Hey, Jesse Harris, great to see you on here. Appreciate you joining the live stream. It's awesome to have you guys here. By the way, I have a question for you guys, and this is not an order or anything. I'm not asking you guys to donate. Absolutely do not please do not. But if you guys see, I'm curious, is the donate button working? Because like my channel unfortunately was demonetized, not because of a strike or anything against me, but because I didn't put in my PIN information. You have to like put in your bank information within 45 days or it gets demonetized, and I was having trouble with those issues. So yeah, anyways, I need to like fix that and get my channel monetized again. But I'm curious, does the button work? It doesn't. No, it's not. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I didn't think so, because it's all my videos now are not being monetized, so I have to fix the bank information. I think I know what the issue is. I think it's just I have to transfer it to like a different account. Regardless, yeah, I'm gonna get that fixed, but I appreciate that. Thank you. Closest royal palm in the ground is 15-hour drive or 1 hour, 20-minute flight. Is that the one in Menton, France? Because I know there's one there. Or is it one in Portugal or Spain? I'm curious which is actually closer. That's crazy, though. Closest royal palm to here is... that's crazy. You guys have such a milder climate than us, but the closest royal palm to here is a like 9 or 10-hour drive. It's probably a 10-hour drive to Jacksonville, Florida. Believe it or not, there's 3 big royal palms growing in Jacksonville, Florida. I think they're the Florida variety, not the Cuban one, so they're a bit hardier. 3 like 30-foot royal palms growing in Jacksonville, Florida. Only a 10-hour drive from here. Can you believe it? Easily within a day, you can get down to a royal palm. That is crazy. And that also is not a tropical climate. That is a true subtropical climate. And then closest coconut palm, probably like a 12, 13-hour drive from here. Closest lipstick palm, yeah, probably like 15 hours. Have you ever tried pawpaws there? You know, I've never planted them, but they're absolutely all over here. Super nerd. Where are you located, by the way? I'm curious, because pawpaws here, if you go in the forest, they're everywhere. Very tropical looking. Yeah. The fruit are huge. Very tropical looking, yeah. France, got it, Cal. Yeah. There are a few royal palms down the south of France. That does include going on a ferry, though. Right. Of course. Yeah, for us, it's a 10-hour drive. I mean, also, you got to, like, wind through Europe, which obviously, for us, is just like a straight drive down Interstate 95, which just goes straight down the East Coast all the way to, I think, to the Florida Keys, all the way to Key West. That's pretty crazy. You can drive to Key West from here. Key West is obviously insanely tropical. There's no palm species that is not, that is not hardy enough to grow in Key West, I guess. Not that, obviously, hardy is almost a strange word to use, because obviously it's completely tropical there. But anyways, here is the sable here. I've been keeping you guys long enough from seeing this palm. Let me show it. Here's the massive, unbelievably massive sable here. This does not look like a normal sable miner to me. The fronds just look completely different. It almost looks like it's got a bit of damage on it, so it suggests a different species. I'm guessing this is a Louisiana, but the fronds on these are like insane. I mean, look at the size of this palm. It might even be 2 palms. In fact, I think it is. Although actually it's hard to tell. It's huge. They're putting out the flower stalks right now, so we should have seed on this sometime soon. But look at the size of this palm. Starting to develop what looks like maybe a small trunk. Huge, huge. Easily 5 or 6 feet tall, probably 6, and just huge. If you exclude waiting for the ferry, it's only 11 hours. That's not bad at all. That's awesome, Cal. You should do that drive. You should do it. That's awesome. Look at the number of seedlings here, too. They have actually left the seedlings, which is awesome. Tons growing in here. Really, really awesome. Some of them are big. They've got lots of seedlings over here, too. This is another stable miner here. Just a little one, little guy. Lots of seedlings. Yeah, these things naturalize really easily. I want to go up and see the, what's it called? Here's a seedling. I want to go up and see the giant sequoias at the Capitol. But I think for time's sake, I might head actually south to the big trackie that I'm trying to get to. See what that one, see how it's doing. They just mulched all this, but they have lots of stable miner seedlings back here. Yeah, look at this one. Oh, they actually, it's so funny. I always thought this was a naturalized palm because they never had a tag for it, but now they actually put a tag in. Can you believe they planted a stable miner in this little tiny corner here? That's absolutely awesome. They've got several of them planted in here. This is just awesome. Stable miner here. Stable miner are almost becoming more common than needle palms now here in DC. Might give needle palms a run for its money. I'm seeing a lot of younger stable miner being planted, much less for needle palms. So maybe someday they will overtake needle palms. Trackies probably not, just because they'll die in those bad freezes, which keeps their numbers down. Seedlings all in here. They have removed a lot of the seedlings here, which kind of sucks, but there's still some, but that does kind of suck. I wish they'd keep them. There were seedlings all just all over here last time. All right, I'm gonna find the path down now. I don't know what this memorial is here. Beautiful. Look at this. Really nice. Lots of ball cypresses planted here. Trying to figure out which way to go. I might stay here. I might stay on the side of the mall, actually. Just start heading back. Because honestly, the palm that I'm trying to get to, I just made a video on anyways. So I might stay here, just head back and see some of the other palms. Actually, I'm headed to the Capitol, see those giant sequoias that I was talking about. Oh, it smells so nice in there. Sorry, guys. Now I'm just in the comments. Barcelona would be 1 hour and 30 minutes longer since the Spanish roads are better than France to drive. They're the ones in France to drive on, whatever else Bismarck is. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, Barcelona seems like a cool place. Mass pawpaws aren't native here. I have a pawpaw tree and I've looked. Yeah, there are rarer species. And in fact, there's some evergreen species in that genus that are from Florida and from the southeast. So yeah, really, really cool. So lots of great ones to try. That's really cool. Yeah, I'd love to see that too. That pawpaw. I have driven there before, but then the planes are faster. Right, of course, yeah. The closest coconut here is 2-day drive. Where is the closest coconut, Cal? Because I know there's a few people growing them in like Malta and in Cyprus in Europe, but I don't really know if anyone growing them in like Portugal or Spain, where, I mean, they're quite marginal because it's obviously a bit cooler there than it is in southern California, even where they're pretty marginal, so I'm curious. Where is the closest coconut? Larnasa Cyprus. Cal, is that the one on Palm Talks? I know there's that guy that grows a coconut in Cyprus. Or is it a different coconut? I'm curious. In the ground, Barcelona is a lot further, but the roads in there are less windy than... Gotcha. And Paphos. Yeah, Paphos is where the guy is, I think. I think that one is in Paphos. Yeah, what's the one in Larnasa? How did you hear of it? I'm curious, because I would love to see a picture of that, because I feel like I've heard of that one, but I'm not exactly sure. So where is that? Oh, there's a big yucca up there. Here is the one and only U.S. Capitol building. Can't tell if it's a yucca or agave. I don't want to get shot, like, walking up here, though, so... keep my distance. There's the Capitol. They're always doing renovations on it, because I know it had, like, water damage and stuff. It's called Capitol Hill for a reason. Really is quite a hill here. To the neighborhood. The neighborhood of Capitol Hill is also great. They got, I only know of 2 palm houses in there, but I'm sure there's more. Nice needle palm of Sable, Louisiana. Here's one of the giant sequoias. Wow, it looks a lot better when I saw it last. Last time it looked a little stressed. Looks great now. So this is, again, the most massive tree species on Earth. You can just see how massive this one is already. Not really very tall right now because they're pretty slow growers. About 100 years old, I think, but the trunk is absolutely massive. Look at this tree. So cool. This is one that I've seen pictures of the sequoias and redwoods in the UK, and some of them are like 200 feet tall. Some of them are huge because they were planted in like the 1800s. That is one that does great there too, because obviously it's got a climate not too different from parts of the UK are kind of like parts of like Northern California coast, a bit cooler, but you know what I mean. Not too different. Really, really cool. Beautiful, beautiful giant sequoia. Look how big that trunk is. Crazy. My friend and grandparents live there, and their neighbor has to go. That's crazy, Cal. I want to see that. Isn't there like a British military bases or something? There's like a British territory on Cyprus, right? That's really cool. That's crazy that there's coconut growing there. Seems kind of like a Southern California climate. Look at this bark. It's like very foam-like. It's a little harder than the coast redwood bark that I've seen, but yeah. So I mean, as long as this tree continues to be healthy and it looks healthy as of now, this thing, definitely could become as large as the ones out west. Hopefully, given time. Look at that. Looks so healthy. Wow. Really did not look that good last time I saw it. I mean, it looked good, but it didn't look as good as it does now. What was I gonna say? I saw this article about redwoods in I think it was Raleigh, North Carolina, and there are some big ones there too. I'm sure that DC's got some big ones around, but I really don't see them very much. It really sucks. Like, there's so many trees that I'm just like, scratching my head, wondering why on earth are these not planted more here? Live oaks, redwoods, so many broadleaf evergreens. Thankfully, obviously, southern magnolia is incredibly common here, which is like to the credit of the people, certainly, for planting them. But there's so many others, like hardy eucalyptus, stuff like that really just should be everywhere here, but they're incredibly rare. Same with palms, of course. All right, we're up at Capitol Hill now. That's the Library of Congress over there. That's like the biggest library in the world, I think, where they keep they have like a document of every book published ever, or a copy of every book published ever. Here's the U.S. Capitol building. All this, I see a magnolia over there. It's got so many flowers on it. That's absolutely awesome. Here's the Capitol. Really cool. Hey, Dara O'Connell, Southwest Ireland Rainforest. Appreciate you joining in. How's it going? I saw your rhododendron video. I need to comment on that. I actually haven't watched it yet, but I saw that you uploaded that. I didn't watch it. I'm not really excited about that. Really, really awesome. This is the U.S. Capitol here. Most of the Northern California coast is cooler than London. That's crazy, yeah. It is milder, though, in winter, I think. Slightly, maybe, because it's south of Brookings. I know Brookings, Oregon's got, like, sort of a Scilly Isles climate. And obviously, the Northern California coast is south of there. Obviously, it does not have the Brookings effect. So it is much cooler than London in summer. Because I know it's, like a place like Eureka, California. It's, like, averages, like, in the low 60s in summer. Extremely cold climate. Make San Francisco look warm. San Francisco's like freezing in summer, like high 60s. I mean, I guess it's not that cold, but it is, compared to here, it's like a 20-degree difference. But yeah, that's kind of crazy. Look at that. Cyprus used to be owned by Britain. They let them become independent, but there are still military bases. Right. They use... Interesting. That's 60 miles away. That's crazy. Just amazing how small the Mediterranean is, like, compared to, like, the U.S. or something. It's crazy. 60 miles. It's like from here to, I mean, you can still be in Maryland in 60 miles. In most directions. Everywhere but south, you can be in Maryland. East, west, and north, you'll still be in Maryland if you go 60 miles, basically. Indianapolis. Jesse, that's awesome. I was there like 2 years ago, and I went to Mountain State Park, which is a really cool place. My personal interest, I have a huge interest in ancient history, so Mountain State Park's awesome. There is a guy, Indy Palms, who grows palms up there. I think it's like a zone 6A climate. It's quite cold, but there are, you can grow some palms there. It's awesome. The winter is milder. Really? In London? I did not know that. That's crazy. I mean, I guess the redwoods really it is quite cold, because it's also very foggy. I miss the California climate, but loving the hot desert here. Yeah, Gem State Tropics, yeah. Are you from California by chance? I might be completely making that up, but I thought I heard that you were... Are you from California? I'm forgetting now. Because I know you were there, obviously, recently, making videos, but I feel like there's some YouTuber that I know is from there. I mean, there's obviously plenty of YouTubers from there, but yeah, no, obviously, every time I'm away from California, it's like homesickness for California, even though it's not my home, but I always long for it. I mean, I feel like those who have been to California can understand that. It's just an amazing place, but... Oh, you're from Carlsbad. Oh, that's awesome. God. Yeah, I am quite jealous. That is a pretty awesome place. Unfortunately, now being the South American palm weevil, I don't know if you've heard about that, but it's going and killing all this Canary Island date palms there, and some of the others too. Bismarcks and some of the other ones are falling prey to it. It really sucks. But no, I'm quite jealous of that. Of the climate there. That is absolutely awesome. No, but Idaho seems like a cool place. There's so many cool places in the West, like New Mexico, Utah, places. Obviously, plenty of places in California. Yeah, the desert's awesome. Absolutely awesome. The 850 PA isotherms average. Wow, 0 Celsius in the winter. That's crazy. Sorry guys. Carlsbad, San Diego County. That's really cool. Yeah, Carlsbad's beautiful. I drove right through there. Drove through Oceanside on the way to San Diego when I was out there. Absolutely stunning area. Not far from where the coconut is out in Del Mar. But in some parts it's warmer here. San Francisco has warmer winters than here. Yeah, I mean, San Francisco definitely does. And as you may have seen, I have a video just south of San Francisco in San Jose. There's a royal palm growing there. Looked a little damaged after this last winter. I also think it's been unwatered. I think the house like has been vacant for a while, so they don't actually water it. So it's looking a bit stressed, but it's been there for like 20 years. It looks great. It's looked great for most of its time. You can check out my video on that. But there are royal palms in some of the Bay Area microclimates, so definitely milder in San Francisco, but it is still quite a cool climate. Again, it's warmer in London, definitely, obviously, in summer. I mean, obviously, Northern California is huge. Like, San Francisco is like, you know, way far south of like Eureka or some of the areas up by the redwoods. I ran a half marathon last weekend. That's awesome. I have another half marathon in June. Well, I can't wait to hear about that. That's absolutely awesome. I've seen some dead Karen dates. It's really sad. Oh, it's horrible. Gemstone Tropics. And in fact, I actually, believe it or not, there's this guy who's heading the research to try to stop the weevil and sort of maybe eradicate it or stop it from spreading. And I was in touch with him because I was actually trying to get an internship with him to do some weevil research. But unfortunately, it seems like they're having some logistical issues. Like they, I don't know, their schedule was mixed up, so they couldn't. I didn't get the internship, but I was in communication with him, and I showed him. I should really post this in the community tab of my channel. But I was looking on Google Maps, and just north of Carlsbad, and like at the northern end of San Diego County, there's about a 20-mile stretch of completely undeveloped coastline, just wild Southern California coastline, which is really rare along the coast. But 20 miles is about the same distance as the weevil can fly, and there's no Canary Island day palms as far as I'm aware during that 20-mile stretch. So I thought maybe that coast would provide a barrier, because if the Canary Island day palms, if the weevils cross that barrier and make it to Orange County, then they're just going to spread up to LA and kill all the date palms up there, Canary Island day palms. But I was looking on Google Maps and I found, looks like there might actually already be weevils north of that line. I was looking at Google Maps at the one of the beaches just north of that area, and there was 2 Canary Island day palms that looked like they were being killed from the weevil. So I actually sent them to this guy, and he said, "Thank you for sharing it. We'll look into that." So hopefully they're aware of that, because there is actually a way to prevent the weevil from spreading. They do have the blessing of that undeveloped coastline, which means that the weevil could still spread north of there, but it's going to stop it it's going to slow its spread, because it's a long distance for the weevil to fly. So my hope is that they can sort of monitor the date palms just north of there and stop it from spreading. But it's absolutely tragic. The number of Canary Island date palms that have been killed in San Diego, it's like 90% or something. And now it's killing other species too. It's the same thing that's happening in Europe, in the Mediterranean, with the red palm weevil. Thankfully, it's not as widespread in California, but that all could change. Obviously, if it gets to LA, I don't even want to call it good news, because obviously it's so horrific what's happening. But the I guess good news is that there are so many mountain ranges and stuff north of there that it's not going to spread to like San Francisco or the Central Valley, but it could definitely spread to LA, spread to San Bernardino. It could potentially get into the like near Palm Springs, which would affect the date industry. So that's a huge problem. Absolutely horrible. I've seen it actually makes me concerned, because that's a place that I'd love to, my dream is to move out there and grow palms, but I mean, that's like a serious limiting factor for what you can grow, because you've either got to protect a lot of your palms, like spray them every 2 months, which costs so much, or basically risk them dying. So it really is horrific. I mean, it's still at a stage where, like, if there was the will, it could potentially be stopped, but just not enough people are aware. That's what happened in Europe. It just really was not stopped, and it's spread now throughout the whole Mediterranean, North Africa, a lot of other areas. horrific. I think the red palm weevil's in like 80 countries now or something. Eureka's warmest month only has an hour. Yeah, Cal, exactly. You know, Eureka's freezing. It's like, and again, kind of like the Scilly Isles, I think that's kind of what limits what can grow there. It's not so much that the winters aren't mild. They're crazy mild, but the summers just aren't high. If the summer temperatures were higher, they could almost grow royals there. But Eureka is very mild. It's right near Brookings, and it's definitely cooler than Brookings, because Brookings again has the Brookings effect. But Brookings is also cooler than London in summer. So yeah, no, Eureka is quite a cold climate. It's amazing how cold it is up there. I mean, Santa Monica, the average high in Santa Monica is in Southern California near LA. The average high in July, I think, is 69 degrees. So it's really, really cold. But then you go to like LA, which the average high in downtown LA, which is like 20 miles inland or 10 miles inland, it's like 80 something, 85. And then you go to Palm Springs, the average high is like 108. And then you go to like Death Valley, the average high is 117, I think, in summer. So it's amazing just how much it differs. It's crazy. I mean, the hottest place on earth is in California, but then you also have like Eureka, which is just crazy. Yeah, red palm weevil in Europe kills all sorts of palms. It's horrific, Cal. Yeah. My rhododendrons are in full bloom. I have some scented rhododendrons. Very hard to come by. My hydrangeas will be coming into bloom soon. That's awesome. That's really awesome, Dara. Can't wait to see that. Does the weevil kill other day palms? Yeah, it has. It generally goes for Canary Island day palms, but once it's eradicated all the Canary Island day palms, it will, and it's now even been found to go for washies, Bismarcks, and like rarer palms like Prochardia and stuff like that in Southern California. Absolutely horrible. Yeah, I plan to have a forest of rhododendrons. Yep, that's awesome, Dara. Me too. I absolutely love them, and I have several out in front. And I also love mountain laurel, which is a very rhododendron-like plant that's native here. Broadleaf evergreen. Absolutely love rhododendrons. God, I'm actually getting a sunburn standing out here. I've got to go in the shade. My skin's like it's just dark enough that it gets like a bit of a tan, but it's still pale enough that it gets like kind of fried in the sun. When I went to Florida, I told you I went 2 hours without sunscreen on my arms, and I got a sunburn so bad in Miami. Also, I was swimming because it reflects the water. I got a sunburn so bad that my arms completely peeled off, all the skin. It was awful. Not all the skin, the top layer of skin, and it was really rough, but still worth it. I'd go back anytime. You can see these are the giant sequoias, by the way, that I was trying to show you. Massive giant sequoias. Sequoia giganteum. Crazy. It's like triple trunked. This is one of these crazy trees. I think this is a China fir. It's from China, I'm pretty sure. Really, really cool. Yeah, common China fir. Really beautiful. Kind of like a blue spruce a little bit. It's like almost monkey puzzle tree like. It's a very cool species. It's really, really neat. I prefer the monkey puzzle tree, but I still like those. There's another giant sequoia down here. Amazing. It's the place where the giant sequoias are native. Those are absolutely incredible. I went to one of the groves in Yosemite, and again, it's like a much cooler climate than here. It does probably average in like the 80s in summer, but at night it gets into the 40s. It was freezing there. It was so hot during the day that we went to like these swimming holes when I was out there, and we went like these swimming holes at the bases of these waterfalls, and it felt great because it was so refreshing. But then at night it is freezing. Amazing how cold it gets. It's like in the 40s in July at night. I also went to the Bay Area at night in summer. It was so cold. Oh my God. It was crazy. Here's another sequoia here. Quite a lot of dead limbs in there, but still looks pretty healthy where there's growth. There's the U.S. Capitol building right there. So some great gardens here in D.C. Sequoia, to honor the 200th anniversary. So these were planted in 1966. So that's a lot of growth for, whatever that is, like 57 years. Yeah. It's a lot of growth. It's obviously in like another 57 years, it'll probably be a lot bigger, probably twice the height. Oh yeah, it's sunny. I seriously regret not wearing sunscreen. Oh well, it's not too bad. That's the nice thing, it's not too hot yet. Soon it'll be really unbearable. I don't want to burn in the sun at all. Yeah, me neither, Darren. No, I'm gonna try to stick to the shade for now. It is summers in DC, especially the sun is rough. Right now it's great actually. It feels fantastic in the sun, but I'm definitely gonna burn at the end of this. But I don't know, it's not too bad. The breeze feels great. It's kind of breezy right now, upper 70s. Pretty great. But yeah, soon enough, it'll be very warm, very hot and humid. I've not sweated all this whole walk, which is nice. It's a rare thing for DC, especially this time of year. Yeah, I'm a rhododendron nut too, Dara. I absolutely love rhododendrons. They're really beautiful. Quite hardy too. Somehow the UV index is the same in DC as it is here on the coast. That's crazy. Yeah, must be. Usually the UV index here is like really high, but I guess it's just because right now it's not too hot out. I mean, that's good. I guess that's good for me, or unless it's like really high. But I'm assuming it's not too bad right now. It's good. Probably means I won't get as burnt. But my arms don't look burnt so far. But I don't know. We'll have to see. See what happens. Willow Oaks there. Here's a nice view. My face does not feel too burnt right now. Usually, it's like when it feels really burnt, you feel when you touch it, it just like stings. Some huge event here at the Capitol. I don't know what this is. There's the Washington Monument down there. Beautiful view. It's supposed to the opposite of warm climate palm, but the lows aspen, so I bought one and planted. That's really cool. You know, I honestly, for all the hate that aspens get, I mean, not that they get so much hate, but I feel like they're really beautiful. I mean, the bark on them sort of looks like a eucalyptus almost. It's like really white. Absolutely beautiful, yeah. And they're native to Idaho, of course. So yeah, no, I love them. I've only seen one in the area. They're really not that common here, but they're native to Maryland too, which is kind of crazy. Really beautiful, quaking aspen. That is. We've also got big tooth aspen, which is less sort of darker bark, but still a nice species. Yeah, they are kind of like the opposite of a palm. It wasn't 8 here. Got it, Cal. Yeah, I feel like 8's like moderately high. I don't actually know the UV rating. Is it out of 10, or is it out of 15? I have no idea. Back at the Botanic Gardens here. It's pretty impressive that those two tiny windmill palms over there survived the single digits, one of which, was completely unscathed. Pretty awesome. Same here, Dara. I don't even have to pick the dark skin, but I can. That's crazy. I don't burn in the sun. Oh wow, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, Dara. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm quite jealous of that. No, I don't. For some reason, like when we were in like Mexico, I also, again, not that hot out. It was like in the 70s, but I burnt really bad. It's funny. I don't get burnt really on my arms, but I get burnt particularly around my eyes and like on my nose. That's it. And sometimes on my neck. But like arms, legs, never ever put sunscreen on. Well, sorry, I do on my arms sometimes, never on my legs, never get burnt there. But yeah, it's really weird. I'm jealous of you guys. I mean, in DC, like this time of year, I really won't get burnt very much, but it's midsummer here, I do. I mean, you gotta remember, summers are very hot and humid, high UV. There's apparently a new species of shark in the British waters. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's really crazy. They found a 14-foot small tooth sand tiger shark a few weeks ago around Britain and Ireland. That's crazy. 8 is very high. Oh, got it. Okay, that's I should get in the shade then. Yeah. I guess it is out of 10 then, probably. 1 to 2 is low. 3 to 5 is moderate. 6 to 7 is high. Very high. 11 plus is extreme. Oh, gotcha. I have more olive skin, so I don't burn unless my skin isn't. Yeah. I feel like that's the same with me. Like I went to France and I was like on the beach and I was there all day. Did not put sunscreen on at all. Didn't get burnt at all. And then by the end of that trip, I was like kind of tan. So I feel like the rest of the summer I didn't get burnt. I didn't wear much sunscreen. But beginning of summer, I do. I get pretty burnt. I don't know what you call this. Like olive. It's not really olive. It's like moderately dark. I don't know. I'm curious. Regardless, I don't know. DC is just an interesting climate because it's like, like basically tropical for not half the year, but for a lot of the year. I mean, it is kind of tropical for half the year because, like, basically for like April's kind of like a tropical winter here in DC, and then like I don't know, September, October is like the coldest season it ever gets in the tropics. Still mostly like 70s and for the highs. And then obviously our summers are like if you just took our 6 months of the year and extended it to be the whole year, we would basically be like probably a subtropical tropical climate, borderline. But obviously the other 6 months are what places us in that really cold zone. Yeah. No, I know. I'm the like yeah. My mom's side's like all in Northern Europe, so it's like quite fair skin, quite pale skin. And my dad's side is really dark. It's funny that the darkest part of my dad's side, it's kind of weird. So yes, I have family from Portugal. My grandma's born there, raised there. I have lots of family there. But I think the darkest side of my dad is actually the Irish side. Strangely enough, my dad's like grandfather's Irish or something, or some generation back, and he's like dark Irish, which I think might be like Middle Eastern immigrants to Ireland, or I think there's like some mixture of some other part of the world in there to make dark Irish, but we're part dark Irish, I guess, and then part Portuguese, so we got somewhat mixed skin. My skin's very mixed. It's like just depends on the time of year. I feel like by the end of summer it's definitely olive. By this, early it's somewhat pale. Yeah, no, my family's a complete mix of like nationalities and cultures and stuff. God, I gotta cross the road to get to the shade. I don't know why yet. It's just like my eyes that are really sensitive to the sunlight. Anyways, yeah. Height is very high. 1 to 2, so. We have 50 target harvest blooming in our garden this year. That's awesome, Joe. There'll be a ton of seed. Hopefully our home doesn't sell before I harvest it. Yes, hopefully not. Hopefully you get to do that harvest. So Joe, are you still thinking, you're still thinking about moving either to Vancouver Island or to somewhere, you said you were looking somewhere in Mexico and in Baja or something like that? Because, yeah, no, that's awesome. I feel like if I had to choose now, and obviously I don't have that choice currently, but if I had to choose like a place to move, honestly, I would be kind of torn between like because there is something nice about being in a cooler climate where you can sort of grow those hardy palms. But obviously, after having lived in a colder climate for, you know, your whole life, and obviously for me, so far from my whole life, there is something, you know, rewarding about going to a place where you can grow everything. But no, I'm curious to see what you do. Obviously, you've definitely made the most out of your climate and grown some insanely cool stuff. Joe's up at 48 degrees north latitude, Salt Spring Island, British Columbia, and yeah, really quite mild up there on the Gulf Islands, which is awesome. This is the newest monument on the mall. This is the Eisenhower Memorial. I don't actually know where I'm going. I gotta probably find a direction. Actually, Joe, I might head back and show you the trackie, which I think I showed just before you got here first. So I'm gonna might head back and show you the Smithsonian Castle trackie, which is a really cool one. That's the famous one that used to be here at the Air and Space Museum, but they actually moved it. They transplanted it when it was like 20 feet tall about 3 years ago, 2-3 years ago, because of all these ongoing renovations here. Look at these renovations, crazy stuff they're doing there. But hopefully it'll be really nice. The Air and Space Museum is great, and they also have a second Air and Space Museum out by the Dulles Airport, which is the biggest airport in the DC area. It's the big international airport. And that one's absolutely awesome. They have a space shuttle out there. I really have to get out there. That Air and Space Museum is absolutely amazing. It's in like this giant hangar. It's massive. You can see them restoring the old planes. And there's a library near there. It's out in like suburban Northern Virginia. It's actually right near where that big trackie was, the Sterling, Virginia trackie, if you guys have heard of that one. Died in 2014, but it was like 25 feet. There's a library there called the Cascades Library. I was just looking at my old video of it because I'm trying to remember where it was, but I've got to get back out there because the library a few years ago, I think like maybe 2013 or something, the Virginia Palm Society planted some palms to the library there, and most of them are still there. So I want to go back there and do an update on that. It's like the suburban library, and they got it's not the kind of place you'd expect palms, at least in these cold climates, but it's really cool. Anyways, yeah, that's awesome about the trackies that are blooming, Joe. Hopefully you do get that seed. Too bad seed. She can't be shipped out of Canada. I know, it sucks. I think Canadians could ship here, but it's strict U.S. border control. That's the strict. Yeah, they're very strict on seeds and importation and that stuff. I remember when they were like flying, how they were very, very strict on that stuff. Hey, yep. Best climate for zone pushing seems to be the warm temperate, whether that's Mediterranean or subtropical. Absolutely, Cal. I completely agree. Yeah, I think a place like Cape Hatteras, North Carolina, has a ton of potential. A guy was just there and he was posting pictures. Cape Hatteras, like even south of there, in like places like Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, in a bad winter, they can kill washies. It can kill CIDP. There's a few there, but there's a lot of washies and there's a few CIDP in Myrtle Beach, but it's right on the mainland, and it's also the coast like faces almost south. So like everywhere, if you go straight north of there, it's not like the coast, it's actually inland. So all those freezes just go straight down and it's really bad. But in a place like Cape Hatteras, despite those bad, they sort of avoid the worst of the East Coast freezes because they're like 20 miles off the coast on a barrier island. So it's got the ocean on one side and like a bay on the other side. It's like 20 miles, so it's huge. Moderates it a lot. And the guy was just there and he posted a picture of a huge Canaron day palm and some huge Washingtonia there, like 30, 40 feet. And they were completely undamaged after this winter. I saw some pictures of some of the ones south of there that looked pretty fried, and they were completely undamaged in Cape Hatteras. So that's a great subtropical climate for zone pushing. And it's also really nice because North Carolina is crazy humid and brutal in summer. Cape Hatteras is way out in the ocean, so it's like the high is like 84 in summer, so it's much more pleasant than DC or somewhere in the south. But I agree. My dream climate, as I've always said, is Southern California. Cool enough that you can grow stuff like Ciroc Salon, you can grow Hawea, and it's also very pleasant, to people. Obviously, it's very nice and moderated throughout the year, but it's also warm enough that you can like zone push stuff like coconuts, even Adenidia Morellii. Sorry, guys. You can zone push all sorts of awesome stuff there too. So that is my favorite climate, absolutely. And obviously the Canary Islands is like probably the best on earth, or Cape Verde is also pretty good. I actually looked at the weather in Cape Verde and it's not that hot. Summers there are like low to mid 80s, so still pretty mild. Probably Hawea and stuff right there. I totally agree though, Cal, absolutely. On the Channel Islands in the UK, there are also apparently mature new cow palms. That's crazy. I know there's mature ones on in the Tresco Abbey Gardens and in the Isles of Scilly. Someone said they were the most common palm there, which kind of surprises me, but apparently they're like naturalizing everywhere there, which is nuts. Again, very tropical looking palms that are really not very tropical. They're from quite cool climates, kind of like Northern California type climates, kind of like the Scilly Isles. And really, really impressive what grows there. That's just absolutely awesome. Love new cow palms. That's another one that's just great in Southern California that I'd absolutely grow. I see them, they're becoming more common there. I see them decently commonly in Southern California in both public and private plantings. There's just two beautiful ones right in the Venice canals in Venice, California, which is really cool. And I've seen some big ones out there too. I think they're kind of like a bottle palm. They're a little bit nicer when they're young because that sort of bulbous crown shaft is much more prominent. It sort of thins out a bit like it with age, kind of like a bottle palm. But very impressive palms. Here's those Yucca rostrata again. Let's head back to see that big trachea. In Europe, they are not strict at all on seeds and plants. In fact, there's not. That's really crazy. The fields here seem to be full of echiums. I don't actually know what that is. Yeah, they are cows are the most common palms in the Scilly Isles. There are thousands. That's crazy. Are they like common in the towns too? Because I know they're very common at Tresco, but are they common in the town as well? I remember looking on Street View just randomly. I think in the town of Tresco or one of the towns on the islands, and I just saw went to a random spot and I saw like a 50-foot Canary Island date palm. It was crazy. Crazy impressive. Gotta go by. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you joining in as always. Really awesome to have you here on this beautiful day here, Washington, D.C. Really, really fun. And I really appreciate you joining in, Jesse. Hopefully the weather is nice up where you are. Yeah. Enjoy. Few of them in town. I saw one at Hugh-town. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking, the town there. That's really cool. Such an awesome climate. I really, really want to go there. Brookings, Oregon, and the Scilly Isles are two places with similar climates I really want to go. I'd love to drive from Brookings down to like San Diego or something, do the whole California coast. That'd be awesome. That's really cool though. So many palms I wish we could grow here, but you know what? I can't complain. There's always, we could always be colder, we could always be warmer. Our climate is what it is, I guess, to use the famous phrase. And we just gotta, take it for what it is and grow what we can here. It is kind of surprising how generally DC's climate, it's kind of moderated, like compared to like Dallas, where you'll have even like a bad Dallas obviously is so mild that, in a normal winter, you can grow Berhea and Washingtonia, no problem. And Dallas is decently humid too. But then in a bad freeze, you'll have trachys die and stuff like that. Here, you know, of course, trachys can die in a bad freeze, but we have no chance of growing Washingtonia and stuff. So we are much more moderated than sort of the central U.S. climates. So that is a nice thing also. Look at that needle palm back there, it's beautiful. But, you know, you know, we could always have more, we could always be warmer, but gotta appreciate what we have here. There's the other needle palm back there. Again, blends in so well with the native, well, I don't know if they're native, but with those deciduous plants. Beautiful garden here. This is the Hoped Garden, H-A-U-P-T. Enid Hope Garden. I think Hope was like a botanist or something. There's the big trachea there. Again, kind of tattered from the wind, but a lot of green fronds up there looking great. Oh, I'm gonna sit here for a second. The sun does make you tired. I don't know what it is, but oh, that's a nice view. There's the Washington Monument just over there. Southern Magnolia just to the right, just to the left of it. And American Holly to the right. Smithsonian Castle there, and yeah, beautiful trachea. Sorry guys, I'm gonna get to your comments. The good thing about the UK is you could visit London and then the Palms and the coast. Ventnor, yeah, I know, it's crazy. So many good botanic gardens there. I feel like people are kind of like the US, very, generally speaking, aware of their, you know, what they can grow there. I feel like it's interesting, like if you look at a place like, yeah, I don't know. Certain parts, like certain countries, I feel like have more of a palm growing culture than others. Like some places are just not as into certain types of gardening. You know, here in the U.S., obviously, I feel like it's a pretty gardening centric culture. People generally are aware. Again, needle palms and sable minor are nowhere to be found in nurseries here, which sucks. And yet somehow people do find them and grow them. So, yeah. Yeah, there's so much cool stuff to see there in the UK. There are about 20 good botanic gardens here and 10 that are especially good for palms. That's awesome, Cal. Yeah, every botanic garden I've seen here has at least some palm. Needle palm, sable minor, trachea, but yeah, not much else, obviously, because, you know, we are cold here. I'm not sure if the people from the International Palm Society are going to the garden outside London, but it would be a good idea too. Yeah, I that's interesting. I look forward to seeing what that Palm Society thing is, but I mean, maybe they're going to Kew, Royal Botanic Gardens Kew, which is probably the most famous botanic garden in the world, one of at least. So that's definitely a really cool place. In the UK, tropical gardening has been here for hundreds of years, but in the last 10 years it's become very popular. Yeah. I mean, it's the same with the US, and I feel like, gosh, I'm losing my train of thought. I feel like, yeah, sorry, I remember reading that the first tricarpus palm was brought to London, I think in like 1840s or 50s. So they've been there for a long time, and some of them show it. I mean, some of them are like, you know, like 40 feet tall there. Crazy tall ones in the UK. But I think it was probably from like colonization or something. I guess they source seed from, I guess they're not native to India, but obviously, you know, when Britain colonized India, maybe they took some of the tricarpus seeds home. Fortuna, I think, is native only to China, but I guess some botanists got their hands on it and brought it back to the UK, which is awesome. Awesome that that people are aware of what can grow there. Hugh donated some Rhaphelostylus barrii to the Scilly Isles. That's awesome. That's really cool. I bet they do well at Kew too. I mean, I know Kew's in a bit of a colder spot. I know the Canary Island day palms in Washingtonia got a bit fried in the freeze. So I know the UK's got a surprising variety of microclimates. I mean, obviously there's some mountains and stuff, so it makes sense. But I bet like in central London, I'm sure Nickel palms would do fabulous. So, yeah. Yeah, and a place like Cornwall really does look like the Mediterranean. Like, you know, I mean, palms just look they just fit there, you know. Great climate for it. All right, I've been going for. Sorry, let me check the battery percentage. 24% battery on my phone, so I gotta probably go soon. Save some battery. Oh, 130 minutes I've been going here. What is that? 130? That's like over 2 hours. 2 hours 10 minutes. That's awesome. Hey Ted C, how's it going? I'm in Sweden. How's the weather there? I bet it's probably cooler than it is here right now. It's upper 70s, probably 77, 78 degrees, and yeah, really nice out. Great to see you on here. How are you? Yeah, how are things up there in Sweden? Curious. Q donates some replica styles. I think Q would be too cold for replica styles outside of the grass house, but they could donate some. Chelsea Physic Garden. Where is that? Is that one of the ones on the south coast? I've heard of that place, and I've seen pictures of the palms and stuff there. That's really cool. Yeah, that's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, totally.
She'll probably go to bed at like after just after 6:30, depending how long.
It's in the central London. Got it. That's awesome. Next to the river. I feel like that's the one I've seen. Is that the one where they have like this grass field and they've got tons of like Canary Island napalms and Washingtonia and stuff. They've got pindos, I think Jubea and stuff like that. Might be the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think I know what that is. Central London next to the river. So that's a great microclimate, great location. It's awesome.
Y yo le he dicho a mi mamá, pero no.
I see that, Layla. That's awesome. Well, all right. I'll let you guys get back to it.
They have a Canary Island napalm. That's awesome. Awesome. Weather's warming up to 60 to 70 Fahrenheit during the day, but still cold nights. Wow, 40 to 50. That's really cold. That's not too cold actually. We're like 50s here at night, so that's really nice though. Maybe 60s at night. Washingtonia. Got you, Cal. Got you. Hey, Clementi San. Great to see you on here. How's it going? Where are you coming to us from? Curious.
All right. See you guys.
Hopefully the weather's nice where you are. It's a really nice day here.
Bye, Layla. Bye. See you, dude. Bye.
Hungary. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. That's really cool. Are there palms there in Hungary? I'm curious. Let me know. I'm guessing that Hungary's got some mild areas. I'm really curious. Very curious. Yes, there are palms there in Hungary. That is absolutely awesome. Appreciate you joining in. I feel like there's a lot of people from like Central Europe that have joined on here. I know there's people from Austria, people from Poland. I guess it's Northern Europe, but a lot of people from sort of that part of Europe. It's really cool. I'm always curious. I honestly, I feel like I know like Italy and the Mediterranean and the UK climates pretty well, and like maybe Scandinavia, but I feel like I don't know that like so much of like Eastern Europe. I have no idea what the climate's like there. Like, I mean, I know Poland apparently has some mild areas. I thought all of Poland was like pretty cold, but apparently there are areas where you can like grow trackies and stuff. I guess Hungary is the same. That's really cool. What kind of palms do you have in Hungary? Are they planted like in town and stuff? That's really cool. Recently rooted black mission fig cuttings, and they are starting to leaf out. That's awesome, Gemstay Tropics. Our figs here, the Ficus carica, common fig, are they have like hundreds of figs on them. They're huge. We've got 2 of them in the back, one of which is massive. That's awesome though. That's really exciting. Love figs. That's a nice trackie in the background. Yeah. This is DC's biggest trackie. This is this is not DC. I don't know what I'm saying. This is not DC's biggest trackie at all. I know of at least 2 or 3 that are, yeah, probably 3 that are bigger than this one. This is DC's probably most famous trackie. Kind of wind beaten right now, but still looking good. And yeah, this thing's probably at least 20 feet tall. Massive palm. And yeah, really nice in Washington, D.C. I think it was planted in 2000 at the Air and Space Museum. Been here for 23 years or 22 years. Maybe it was 2001. But it's been here for many years, completely unprotected. I think next week is in the high 70s, low to mid 80s. Wow, that's beautiful, beautiful weather. I'm jealous, Cal. It's awesome. Some kind of Mediterranean areas, and the Mediterranean Sea is not too far, mostly tracking Sable Minor. That's really cool. There's a Mediterranean climate in Hungary. I had no idea. That's crazy. Sable Minor, gosh, that's also surprising. Because trackies, I would think, are, they're very common in Europe, but Sable Minor is really not. That is crazy. Gorgeous trackie. Hey, Gemstone Tropics. Yeah, that's a really, really nice one there. Yeah. There's an island off the coast of Sweden, but it's Danish territory called Bornholm. And there's a special fig variety they grow in their 1800s adapted to the Scandinavian climate. I've never heard of that, Bornholm. That's really cool, though. I bet if there's not palms there, they could at least grow there. I bet it's a great climate for trackies and stuff. Now the highs are up to 85. Wow, 85. Gosh, I had no idea Hungary got so warm either. I would have thought it was like sort of Mediterranean like summers, kind of like 70s and stuff. But that's crazy. Hotter than here. Our highs this week at least are just in the 70s. Maybe 80 a couple days. Actually, yesterday was like 82 and humid. But most days are not that hot. That's really cool though, Bornholm. I'll have to check that out. That's awesome. That's really, really cool though. I have been there and seen some decent trackies. That's awesome, Ted. That's awesome. I saw pictures of Copenhagen too. Supposedly there are Canary Island day palms there, which I honestly I'm very surprised by that. But I also saw this park there that had like rows of trackies, like 20 to 30 footers. They look great. Copenhagen's really mild. Oh, 20% battery. Gonna have to end it soon, I guess. But yeah, that's really cool. It's like in the middle of the Baltic Sea, north of Germany and Poland. But wow, north of Poland. So Poland must have some really mild areas. Baltic Sea, north of Germany and Poland, but south of Sweden. That's crazy. Is the north of Germany mild? Because I like the German coast on like the Baltic Sea or on the North Sea or whatever sea Germany faces in the north, I would think would be kind of cold. But I guess maybe it's still mild, because I know southern Germany is very mild. Big Jubea, Canary Island day palm, stuff like that. There and seen some decent trackies. Did they cover the roots? Hey, Keegan Mosby, great to see you on here. They were exposed when I last saw it. No, the roots are still not covered. The roots are still, they look a little better, but the root ball is still completely exposed. You really have to cover that. It's gonna take a lot of mulch. I honestly been meaning to, but I took the Metro down today. It would have been kind of hard to haul all that soil down. I've got to do that, yeah. Yeah, they're still pretty exposed. Sweden, Malmo is very mild. I've heard of that place, Malmo, Sweden. Probably trackies there, that's awesome. Poland has sort of a peninsula in the middle of the north. That's really cool. This guy grows palms in Denmark. Who is that? That's really cool. Wow, where on Google Maps? I'm curious. Yeah, it seems like there's quite a number of palms in Denmark. Poland is warm in the summer, but cold in the winter. I was there in October a few years ago, and it was high 60s and low 70s. Oh, wow. That's not bad at all. I can see if I find the address. Yeah, I'd love that. Thank you. It's like a guy's house or something, where he grows palms. That's really cool, though. That's awesome, though. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I have to fortunately end soon, but appreciate you all joining in. It's been a beautiful day here in the DC area. Turn the camera around here. Really, really nice. Just beautiful out. Oh, it's really nice and relaxing here on this bench. I gotta get like a selfie stick, one of those camera sticks to hold the camera up, because I feel like my hands get tired holding it up, and I feel like I wobble it a lot, just to make the viewer experience better. It's like a yard facing the street, but still private garden. That's really cool. And also, someone posted the location on Palm Talk. If any of you guys want it, let me know. Or not on Palm Talk, on Facebook. And this is what I do. I have a document, and anytime I find an interesting Palm location, I copy and paste the location into the document. So I found the location of a trackie in, it's not a trackie, excuse me, a big Washingtonia in Amsterdam, Netherlands. And I know there's a few Washingtonia there. There's some big Jubea at the zoo, and some others around town, but definitely colder than the UK, because it's on the peninsula. And yeah, there is a big Washingtonia in someone's backyard, also facing the street. Looks great. Yeah, really, really impressive. Again, that's Northern Europe. That's crazy. Rodosvej 36. Awesome. I'll check that out. Thank you, Ted C. A gimbal. What's a gimbal? Huh. Gotcha. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Like headbands and stuff don't stay on it. Like crazy.
That's still present. The problem with the ones in Amsterdam is that they can die every 10 years, but obviously here it doesn't get... Yeah, exactly. It seems like, Europe, obviously, the freezes, even in mainland Europe, don't seem as bad as the ones in the U.S. Like, the U.S. freezes are, especially like in like Texas and the Great Plains, the freezes are crazy. The fact that like a Washingtonia would ever die in Houston's a place where, royal palms can usually grow in mild winters. There were some big royal palms in Houston, but then those bad freezes can kill Washingtonia. That's like scary. So that's why I'd probably not want to live there for palms. Plus, it's like, it's also like you don't really get the bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Like you basically suffer through 9 months or 8 months or whatever it is of brutal humidity. The winters are obviously very humid, but they're a bit milder. And the averages are pretty mild. Like the averages are very mild. But you suffer through like Florida-like humidity for most of the year, even worse possibly in Houston and inland Texas. And then you don't get to reap the rewards of it because you get these bad freezes every now and then that just really kill a lot. Even in a normal winter, you'll still get like a week or two of just really cold weather. I know Galveston's really impressive. Galveston's like also on a barrier island, so it's definitely moderated. Before the 2021 freeze, there were like some 50-foot royal palms there, which are really, or at least 40 feet. Very impressive. I think all of them were killed there. Royal palms survived in South Texas. Most of the coconuts were killed in South Texas. A few of the coconuts survived. And there was also some really impressive other palm in South Texas that I'm forgetting, in Galveston, that I'm forgetting the name of now. But it really sucks. Again, South Texas, you have coconuts everywhere if it wasn't for the bad freezes. That's why I prefer like an area with mountains. Keeps those freezes out a bit, moderates things. Or an island. Hey, Will, great to have you on here. It's awesome. We got several viewers from, we got so many European viewers on here now. It's awesome. Got some from Hungary, Austria, the UK, France. Who else? There was definitely someone else. Yeah, Sweden, sorry, of course. Yeah, gosh, it's crazy. We got a lot of Europe represented here. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Love it. Great to see you on here, Will. It's been a while. How are things where you are? Hopefully the weather is doing well. How's your Spanish moss, by the way? I'm at the beginning of the live stream, I got a video of the, I showed the Spanish moss here in DC, which is doing great, and I'm going to upload a video of it too soon. So I'm curious how yours did. Stabilized cell. Oh, got it. Gimbal is a stabilized selfie stick. That's what I want to get, Cal. Yeah. I've been saying that for like 2 years since I started live streaming, and I still haven't done that. So good chance it'll never happen. But you know what? If I save up enough money and have the actual time to get that stuff, and because most of my free time I just go and take videos of palms, which is probably the most worthy, in my opinion, that's the most worthy way to spend my free time. And if I can ever monetize this thing, I can actually get a little bit of money from it, maybe. Not that I'm here to make money, of course, but you know, maybe just maybe I can make a little.
Excuse me, is this the entrance
Uh,
to the African art museum?
so I think it is great.
Well, you guys are far. Oh, I'm gonna have to see. Is it this way? No, you can go this way, but you gotta keep going. Oh, it's all the way in the back? Yeah. All the way. So this is all the Asian art. This is the Asian art museum here. Oh, for real? You going to the African? Yeah. Yeah, it's all the way. Not the African American, the African art. Oh, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry. I think this is the African.
Look like a church to me.
Didn't South Padre Island get to 5 Fahrenheit or colder? Did it actually get that cold? I thought it got to like the teens maybe, but 5 Fahrenheit seems extreme. No, there's absolutely no way it got to 5 Fahrenheit because the Royal Palms, at least some of them survived in South Padre Island, so there's no way it got to 5 Fahrenheit. I think it did get to like 15 though, or at least 20. It got really cold. 5 Fahrenheit is like the record cold in DC. That's like the coldest it's ever been recorded in DC. So I have trouble believing it got to 5 degrees there. It got to 5 in Houston, I think, and it got to like 1 or something in Dallas, or 0. But I have trouble believing it got to 5 there. But who knows? And also, Padre Island is a barrier island again, so it's a little more moderated. But there was a huge coconut there that 2 of them actually that I know of completely fried. Yeah. Oh, sorry, gosh, sorry. Cal, I'm sorry, I'm completely misreading what you wrote. Didn't 5 Fahrenheit colder than here in 2021? Then we probably did. Yeah, I bet it did. I was gonna say I think it got to probably teens or low 20s. Yeah, in Padre Island, but yeah, no, it was cold. That's crazy. Danish guy's palms made survived. Wow, 13 years ago. I think I've seen that video. Got the coldest winter temp in 40 years. That's crazy. It was brutal, yeah. How are the palms growing? Growing great here, Will. Yeah, check it out. Doing great there. Yep. I'm going to have some update videos coming soon. The Austrian birds found out that they can build nests with it. Oh, yes. No, same here, Will. They take all the Spanish moss and build nests with it. It's mostly gone or around birds' nests in the garden. Yeah, same here. Gonna take it back after the eggs hatch. Yep, good idea. Good one is $60. A good what? Gimbal. A good gimbal, $60. That's I guess that's not too bad. I mean, I don't know, for a stick, I feel like I could make one out of a literal stick for like nothing, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I can make one easily, but $60 seems kind of expensive for a stick. That's crazy. What's a good one? I mean, does it just hold the phone? But maybe there's something I'm misunderstanding about it. I gotta figure it out. Survived minus 18 Fahrenheit, quote. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, it got to 7 degrees here and it survived just fine. So, yeah, that's awesome. Are figs common in DC, like in public? Decently common, yeah, I see them around. The deciduous ones, obviously, no evergreen figs here, but yeah, decently common. Those are actually evergreen oaks right there, those 2 trees right there, flanking the entrance. Got to 23 in 2021. Here it was at 28. Gotcha, yeah, 23, that sounds right, yeah. That's brutal. 23 in South Padre Island is crazy. That's crazy, 28 degrees is the record, the low that winter. We got 20 degrees colder than you guys, or 21. It's crazy. Only got to 30 though. That is crazy mild. There are so many cool plants that can grow in Washington, but the nurseries don't carry them. Yeah, Keegan, that's absolutely true. There's like dozens of species of cacti we can grow. Palms, eucalyptus, again, evergreen, monkey puzzle trees, live oaks. So much great stuff that we can grow. I absolutely agree. It's a real shame just that stuff isn't carried more. Oh, Will, they did awesome. Yeah, so the Quakers Virginia is what I showed them at the beginning of the live stream, and if you missed that, I'm gonna be posting a video either tomorrow or tonight. Probably tonight of them. So stay tuned for that. I got a video of them, so I'm gonna do an update on them. The DJI ones. Gotcha. Yeah, it's Quakers Virginia. It's completely unscathed, fully hardy here. 28 this winter. 2021 was 30. That's really crazy. Have you tried olive tree? Ted, I haven't, but I showed some earlier at the Botanic Garden. They are hardy here. So I really want to. I really want an olive tree here. Oh, cool. I planted one in our forest a week ago. That's awesome, Will. That's awesome. Wait, you planted, sorry. One of the Southern Live Oaks. That's awesome. That is so cool. I don't hear of them being grown a lot in Europe, but I mean, they have native live oaks in Europe, so. Some posted photos of a Ficus elastica growing in northern Spain. Wow, northern Spain, that's crazy. That is crazy. So the cold temps should be fine. Yeah, well, cold temps are absolutely no problem for you for Virginiana. Virginiana should be fully hardy where you are. They're fully hardy here. Also, if you get like something like Quercus fusiformis, which is native to all the way to Oklahoma, where it gets really cold, that's obviously hardy, probably in like parts of Poland and stuff. Very, very hardy. Northern Spain is quite mild. Yeah, it is really mild, but I'm still surprised. I mean, that is quite far north. That's crazy. It's probably like 9B, maybe 10A some parts. That's crazy. Yeah, that's like San Francisco. I think northern Spain is like San Francisco. Cool climate, very mild. Anyways, guys, yeah, I'm gonna have to go soon. Have you visited Banana Joe's garden? Ted, no, I have not. Unfortunately, he's on the other side of the continent from me, so I have not been to the Pacific Northwest in many years. I've only been once, but I really want to. I really seriously want to, but no, I've not. I've just not made it out there. I do not have the time nor, just resources to get out there right now. But I want to. Yeah. There are 2 weather stations near each other, 5 miles from here. Had a low of 30 this winter. Wow. That's crazy. Haven't had a frost since 2018. That's crazy, Cal. Will, no, I want to. I have Facebook. My name is Alex High on Facebook, which is my name. So I am on Facebook if you guys are, but I really do want to get an Instagram. Plant community is huge on it. Yeah, same with Facebook. Huge. That's the only reason I'm on Facebook. Huge plant community. There's some archaeological groups I'm a part of too. And like historical groups, but yeah, no, I really should. All right, guys, I get kind of tired and my phone is at 11% battery, so I gotta go, but I really appreciate y'all joining in. Gonna end it with this trackie. Not much of a better way to end it than this, so appreciate y'all joining in as always. Yeah, here in Washington, DC. Let me know when you have. I absolutely will. You're the first person I'll let know about that. Bye. Thanks for the video. Thank you so much, Keegan. Appreciate you joining in the live stream. It's awesome to have you on here. And yeah, really appreciate it, guys. Thanks, Will. Sun is setting here. Oh, it's awesome, Cal. Sun is getting lower here. It's 4:59, actually. Yeah, 5 o'clock right now. So really, really nice. Sun's just starting to get low. There's the Washington Monument, Smithsonian Castle, and that beautiful trackie there. Take care, folks. Like and subscribe for more videos. And have a good one. I'll try to take a photo of the fishtail palm. Please, yeah, Cal, I really want to see that. That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. So enjoy the mild weather. Enjoy all the warmth, and have a good one, folks.